Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Stings the nostrils. In a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Chiefs Kingdom. It's time for All Chiefed Up with your hosts, Steve and Mike Williams. From the Bluegrass to the Red Sea, this is the Kingdoms Podcast.
What's up? What's up? It's a Wednesday night war room, baby. I can't hear you, Mike. You're completely blank.
Exactly what I was trying to say.
There we go.
My audio went out as soon as the countdown went down to zero. When it hit all zeros on the clock, audio went poof. I was like,
good
what
timing.
happened?
It's great
was that
timing.
sabotage? Did you sabotage me, Steve? Or were you like at the zero mark? We're shutting this guy off.
I did. How you guys doing tonight?
Wednesday War Room. I'm excited about it, Steve. I'm excited to talk a little bit about it. We're going to show some plays tonight. We're going to talk a little bit. What happened with the injury report today? Everybody's kind of freaking out about that. All I seen was a bunch of bruises.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about the injury report. I think the only one that Andy was worried about that you could tell a little bit was Richie James. It was an MCL injury, and it could be a long-term thing, apparently. Big surprise that we're going to have some injuries in the wide receiver room, Mike. I thought that's something we talked about before the season even started, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Kadarius Toney was a little bit concerning on the injury report again.
Yeah,
can this guy ever stay off the injury report?
Toe, baby. How do you sprain a toe?
It's a toe. Well, he did that the other day in the game.
How do you sprain a toe?
I don't know.
Anyone here ever sprained a toe?
Maybe
if you sprained a toe in the chat, please let me know.
If you sprained a toe, give me a hell yeah. I don't understand it. He can find a way. He can find new injuries, new muscles, new bones to irritate. But he did say if we had went to overtime the other day, he was prepared to come back on the field and play. So I think with a week's rest, a week's rehabilitation, whatever he's got, whatever you do to a toe, a sprained toe.
Well, as long as it could be a turf toe injury, which is hopefully not.
Those things lag, and with him, that's going to turn it into a 3-year injury.
Absolutely. I mean, that's basically a sprained toe anyway. That's the only thing I can think of because if I'm pretty sure turf toe is just like a hyperextension, basically, just like
Right.
so. Yeah, it's probably what's going on, man. Hopefully, it's nothing too crazy, and he'll be back in there. And Adam, don't need anything lingering with Kadarius Toney. That's
I
for
hope.
sure.
Yeah, Pacheco was just a bruise. I think it's a bruise to the hamstring. I don't know how he got a bruise to his hamstring, but he did. He's going to be fine. You're not going to keep Pacheco out with a bruise. It's not going to happen.
Got a bruise on my hammy.
Somebody else, I think Willie's was a bruise too. He should play. And Nick's was the ankle. I mean, come on, he already come back in the game and played the rest of the Jacksonville game. So,
do you think if we were playing any other team, like this would be the injury report?
I don't know. Do you think since we are playing the Bears, they kind of overlook them a little bit? And maybe some of these guys are like, "Oh, I'll take the week off. We should be able to win."
I
like
swear.
Kadarius. If Kadarius sits out this week, I'm going to smack him.
It wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Come on.
Because I mean, if he's going to miss games, this would be one for him to miss, right?
Then again, I guess if he does, maybe it gets more wide receivers in there. Because I feel like this could be a get right game.
Oh, it's got to be for our offense, man. Our offense has been a little funky all season long, so it's time to get it locked in. And what better time than now with the Bears in shambles?
The Bears are in complete shambles, by the way. Their defensive coordinator, defensive coordinator just resigns today. He's resigned. All kinds of news coming out. His house got raided. I don't know what's true and what's not.
What did they do?
Nobody knows. He says he wants to step away and focus on his health and something else. To me, that sounds like a cover-up.
I'm assuming it's gambling of some sort. That would be my guess.
To raid your house? Like, I was thinking, dude, let's hope it's not worse.
Yeah, really. There's no telling. What about the Chandler Jones stuff going on with the Raiders, bro?
Everybody's a mess.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, so he got excused from the team, right? They're giving him an excused absence, basically.
There's all kinds of weird text messages he put out about his...
I didn't see that.
His stepchild or godchild, something being molested, and
what?
Mark Davis is trying to cover it up for somebody, like all kinds of crazy stuff, bro. And they said that he's like, that's why they haven't had him active the last couple of games, even though he's one of the best in the game. And like, I don't know, there's some weird stuff going on around the league, bro.
Dude, and we think it's bad because we have a guy with a sore toe and a couple bruises.
We'll take Kadarius Toney with a sore toe if it means we don't have all this other stuff going on.
As long as Spag's house don't get raided and Mahomes comes out and blames the entire coaching staff for his failures in life. That's exactly what that clown did, Justin Fields. But I'll say this, I don't think he's completely wrong. I was going to ask you the other day, do you think Justin Fields struggles because they got him playing too much? He just doesn't feel comfortable. Like they want him to do this. They want him to read this. They're just not letting him play. At some point, you coach the gamer out of you.
Mike, do you remember a couple weeks back when I said I don't really trust Ohio State quarterbacks?
Yeah, we never trust them.
It's because they play that like a spread offense. They literally do a one read offense. They only look at one side.
Every single person on the field's open.
They only look at one side of the field. And then Justin, so you already know they're not going to be good at reading defenses. And then on top of that, Justin Fields, he's kind of in that running back category. Like he wants to run the ball constantly. Yeah, not good. Not a good one to draft, in my opinion. I would steer far clear of Justin Fields. I've never thought he was going to be much, but then again, he could be. He could prove me wrong, but I don't know. Just kind of falls into that category for me. So, do
you think CJ Stroud's going to be different?
No.
He's looked okay so far, though.
Yeah, he's looked okay. I think he tends to want to run less.
CJ's committed to
he'll stay in the pocket more.
Yeah, he's committed to not wanting to overly run, and he's committed to not turning the ball over as much. I don't know if that's going to work out for him, but he says that's his focus.
He also didn't have Patrick Mahomes in his top 5 quarterbacks or something like that. Is that what it was?
It was something. I don't think that's what he meant, but it's okay. Yeah, so it's going to be a crazy night. We're gonna analyze some plays against Jacksonville. I've got a few of those I brought up. If you follow us on X, by the way, at All Chiefed Up, formerly known as Twitter, you would have seen, Steve, but we caused a crap storm. We brought the crap storm
always
down
causing
on a
a
few
little
people the other
ruckus.
day.
Hey, before we get into our crap storm we caused,
we'll talk about that in a second.
You guys take a second and go hit the like button. Let's get this pumped out to more people and get this party rolling.
Hey, look, we just hit the 10-minute mark. We've already hit the 50 like mark.
Yeah,
Well,
everybody
this
go
could
hit
be a
like.
good night for likes if we go do it.
So everybody go hit like. It'll get out to more people. And if you're new to the channel, hang out with us. We're going to go through some plays from the All-22 against Jacksonville Jaguars. Check out what's going on maybe with our offense a little bit. Look at the defense.
Beautiful plays tonight.
So,
week 1 wasn't such a magnificent time, but I found some really good and some really positive things tonight we're going to focus on.
Good, because it's so easy to fall into the trap of finding all the negative. Mike, me and you even talked about that. It's like sometimes we may come off as negative because we talk like our brains are trained. Like we'll watch a game and we're instantly like, where could this team get better? Like that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Like how could this team get even better than they already are? And of course, Andy's the one that has the answer to that, right? But we still speculate. That's what we do.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that because like we played the game. And we played sports our entire lives. That's all what we did. As kids, it was morning to night. Like nowadays, the kids are looking at the tablet like this and the phone. We were outside 24/7, as most were in the 80s and 90s. We didn't have all that junk. So we were just grown up and we were competitive. 2 brothers about the same age, we were competitive. So that translates over today. Like we played the game. When it comes to things like this, we want to get better. And so your focus instantly becomes you don't focus on your minor successes. You focus on where did I screw up? How can I be elite? That's what a competitor and a champ does, in our opinion.
So that's how your brain forms into watching a football game.
Right. So that's how we take the Chiefs. And sometimes that does come off as, well, these guys are negative. These guys just focus on the negative. But it's all out of love because we're trying to get to like, why are we not being elite? And then at the same time, it's like, well, Andy's not calling me to find out why. So, I mean, it's that, but yeah. And I know it's easier for people that's never played or something to always just have that positive, happy-go-lucky outlook. And I mean, we're going to try to do that a little bit more. We're going to try to come down to a normal fan level and a less competitive a-ho level. And we're going to try to focus on the positives more, I think.
Hurrah, hurrah.
Hoorah.
CHIEFS, Chiefs.
Right. You got to be more cheerleader, less.
Did I spell that right? Did I get it right? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't even know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for some people to get right.
The chef's
Jared
on
says,
there.
how long are you guys on tonight? We're probably on for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe 10:30ish Eastern.
Depending on how much fun we're having.
Yeah, depending on the fun. But I think it's going to be a good one tonight. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, we were highly competitive though, Mike, when we were kids. Like we would make a competition out of absolutely anything. Even if it wasn't sports related, man. Like we couldn't even play board games in the house without maybe an all-out fight going on. Like someone's going to flip the board and knock the pieces everywhere.
Somebody's going to look. If we're playing Monopoly, if you wasn't robbing the bank, you wasn't trying. If you if you're playing the board game Risk,
cheat to win, bro.
Yeah, if you wasn't sneaking in the extra die row, you wasn't trying. Like if you wasn't Yahtzee in the Yahtzee when there was no Yahtzee.
I hated Risk so much.
Do you know that's coming back? That's kind of a popular game right now. It's starting to come back.
Who has 36 hours to play a game of Risk?
People are playing it online, I think, so they can pause it. Come back to it.
That's funny though. But no, we were super competitive. Even in sports, we'd be outside playing one-on-one basketball. I'd be throwing heaters at Mike just to see if he could hit one. Throwing a football around, whatever. We were doing something. A lot of times we got all the neighborhood kids together and formed teams. And we would figure out how to play baseball with 2 or 3 people on a team. We'd make our own rules.
That was a wild one.
It's nuts.
A lot of running.
Yeah.
I didn't carry over into our adult years, I don't think. We should have kept the running up, the exercise. Hey, we got 2 bomb here from Dez. Dez says, should we be worried about a trap game? I'm assuming he's talking about the Bears.
It's a good question. It's been floating around a lot. And I understand.
Always take every team seriously.
I understand a lot of people's comparing it to the Colts game last year. I personally don't think it's a trap game. I think the Chiefs dropping the first game of the season to the Lions when they really shouldn't have. I think it kind of negates an early trap game. Like you're not going to overlook this team right now because you can't afford to overlook anybody at this point. Like you dropped the first game of the season, so you don't want to drop a second one anytime soon. So I think it's got the team focused, especially last week. I thought the team looked a lot more focused last week. They executed better. The offense took a while to come around. They looked a little better in second half, but I think they're getting back on track. And I think they're looking at this game, Dez, as the get right game. Like, this is the game we focus in on, and we go out and we execute and see if we can fire on all cylinders. So I personally don't feel like it's a trap game.
Well, I'm hoping that's how they look at it. I think that should be the way they all look at it, to be honest. So I don't think it'll be a trap game. I actually think, like Steve said, I think it's going to be a get-right game. Could our defense maybe step back a little bit? Maybe. We were talking about this. Every time the Chiefs ever play a team that feels like they're in shambles, that team always finds a way to just do the miraculous. Like, we make the impossible possible. Like, do you guys remember, I don't know, probably like 10 years ago, which I know now that Andy's got here totally different times, but how many times would we play like these no-name quarterbacks where they would just come in and just dominate? And we're like, what is happening? So, yeah, we tend to draw the best out of everybody. That's what happens when you're the champs.
Usually, like with a team like the Bears right now that kind of looks like they're in shambles and stuff, and then especially Justin Fields calling the coach out and some animosity, like that puts a lot of fire under their ass to get out and play a good game too sometimes. Gets them out there and gets them rolling. So we'll catch that a little bit. But once again, like I said, I think the Chiefs are going to be super focused on this game. I don't think they're going to overlook this team at all. I think Andy Reid's going to have a good game plan. They're going to go out and execute and get right.
Right. Richie with another 2-bomb. He says, what receivers?
You mean Dez?
Oh, Dez, my bad. I don't know why I said Richie. Oh, because it says Richie in the thing. Okay. I was like, where did I see Richie? Okay, Dez, 2-bomb. What wide receivers should we go after because Richie is
nobody?
Injured? I don't think they're going to go after anybody.
Well, here's my thing. Like, we talked about this before the season. Are they taking 6 wide receivers? Are they taking 7? What are they going to do? We said, well, since obviously we didn't go get like a big piece, like we couldn't afford to get D-Hop the way that everybody wanted to get. Like, even the Chiefs wanted to get D-Hop and couldn't get him, just couldn't afford him. You have to put 7 because you got too much injury liability on that team with Kadarius Toney. Like,
yep, here it comes.
That's your number one. So if your number one has missed more games than he's played in his 3-year career, then yeah, that's sketchy. So we said that they would take 7 for injury purposes. So now you're looking at Richie James maybe out for an extended period of time. Kadarius Toney with some kind of nagging injury. Hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully he's playing this week and we never hear about it again. That'd be ideal.
Did Andy say what was wrong with the MCO?
No, not that I know of.
Sprain or
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I just know that he said he feared it could be a long-term injury.
Right. So if it's an MCL sprain, we'll just say it's a sprain. What else could it be? You can't bruise your MCL.
You can tear it.
I wouldn't think it was tore. I think they would have come out there and probably flipped him to the IR in that case.
It's probably coming anyway.
Well, it says, okay, so if it's not a tear, if it's a sprain, Google says that it's a recovery mode anywhere from 3 to 12 weeks, depending on how bad it is. If it's a grade 1 MCL sprain, you can get back within 3 weeks. And if it's a grade 2 to 3 MCL sprain, you might need 4+ weeks to recover, sometimes 12. So 3 months. So if it's a super bad sprain or if it's a tear, yeah, he's probably out for the season. Okay, look, so if he's out for the season, let's just say he's out for an extended period. So we're just going to take the average, not 3 weeks, not 12 weeks. Let's just say he's out 8 weeks. That's a lot of time. That doesn't put him back to week 10 or week 11, presumably. We do have the bye week in there somewhere. But now, like you just said, you have 6 wide receivers, and Kadarius Toney is always injuring something, which means we're basically down to 5 on any given week.
Which is fine. I'm okay with it because honestly,
with no clear-cut number 1.
Tell me if I'm wrong here. So I understand having that many receivers, and I understand that our offense spreads the ball around. Patrick Mahomes will throw it to 8, 9, 10 guys a game.
He spreads it like peanut butter, Steve.
I get it. I understand it. But would it really be that bad to keep guys on the field for a while? Like, I would love to see Sky Moore and Rashee Rice get more snaps. Like, I know Sky got quite a bit. He's getting a lot now. Like, with Richie James out, there's not anybody to come in and take a little extra here and there. I would love to see Rashee Rice get some more. I wish I could scheme them in.
Maybe
get them
this
more
means
comfortable.
Justin Ross gets a little more.
That's where I'm getting to. Justin Ross needs more time in there. See what he can do. Not a big deal. I don't think we got so many receivers, man. I'm not too worried about the minor injuries right now. I don't think you have to go out and pick somebody up. I know a lot of people's talking about Amir Smith-Marset. We shouldn't have got rid of him. Guys, I'm sorry. Amir Smith-Marset is not what you think he is. Like, I understand he had a great preseason.
What's he done since he's been traded? Do you know stats on him?
Sure.
Let's go look it up.
Let's check it out because I'm sure it's nothing. I ain't heard nothing.
We go look it up.
He's a practice squad guy. He always has been. We called him up for special team purposes last year, maybe for a little while. I mean, he's not a receiver that's going to go in and just too much. Everybody's putting too much on ISM. I don't get it. I can't see it.
They traded for him. He hasn't taken a single snap in 2 weeks.
And what's their receiver core look like, Mike? That's my point. Like, what is that? Adam Thielen.
They got Adam Thielen. They have they got the trade from the Bears. They got DJ Chark. They drafted Jonathan Mingo. They got Terrace Marshall Jr., the guy they took in the second round of LSU, who's kind of been a bust so far. They signed Laviska Shenault in the offseason.
Yeah.
And then they've got Amir Smith-Marset's their 6, so they're carrying 6 wide right now.
Amir
Smith-Marset's not got a single snap with them.
They also drafted Kyler Murray part 2.
Bryce Young.
So we'll see how that goes.
Would you have you let Bryce Young play though, right? Like you don't go to the backup, which is Andy Dalton, or do you?
No.
You think Andy Dalton helps you anymore?
No, if you're gonna go all in on a guy, go all in on a guy. Just let him play. I think Bryce Young will be better than Kyler Murray. I was just kind of joking at the size comparison.
Yeah,
I think he has trouble seeing what he's doing. Did you see him line up behind the guard? And Miles Sanders had to be like, "Hey, buddy, get over behind the center." But you know what? That happens to a lot more people than you think. So nothing too much to dig in there. But no, that's my point, Mike. Amir Smith-Marset's not even getting snaps over there on that roster. He's not going to get. He wouldn't.
They only have 6 wide.
Yeah,
which is kind of strange. I mean, not saying Amir Smith-Marset couldn't do it. We got to be very honest with ourselves. He was doing that late in the game in the preseason against 4th and I don't even know 5th rookies that wasn't even making the team. You know what I'm trying to say? Like he's doing against UDFAs. Des the Gym 2 bomb and a 2 bomb. That's 4 bomb from Des. Everybody throw some legendaries for Des in the chat. Good questions, Des. Steve, did you know I've been throwing up some fire stuff on Twitter lately? I mean,
we were going to get into that.
I'm trying to check the
stirring the pot. Mike's out there with this giant little spoon, just stirring the pot.
The thing that kind of annoyed me this week, and look, we kind of hit on it because I asked you the other day. I said, Steve, if you had to pick a weak link in our defense right now, where would it be? And I don't remember what you said, but I
said there's not really one. I don't think there's a weak link.
But we said if you looked at it, it could be the safeties.
Maybe.
But
I don't think we've had bad safety play.
I don't think it's been that bad. And I definitely don't see it being bad from Justin Reed. Now, do I want Justin Reed to be more, reliable and make those big plays when we need it? Yeah, I do. But he's still only been here for last year and 2 games this season. So he's still getting it. Brian Cook's actually been the one that's not progressed as much as people thought. I went and looked up a lot of stuff on Brian Cook and dug into some of his stats and this and that and everything else. And Brian Cook was the one that surprised me of how he's not having as good of a season as we kind of thought he was having at this moment, which is another it's where the eye test, you know what I mean? Like you watch these games and you're like, these guys are playing well, or this guy's not playing well. And then you go look it up to see if you can confirm it, and nothing backs what you thought you seen. You know what I'm trying to say? But anyway, so Brian Cook, I'll bring this up and then we'll get into the other one. So Brian Cook, this is what he's done this year. I'll throw this up for everybody. Here we go. Can you see this? Does it need to be bigger, smaller? I think it's fine.
You're good.
Okay, so I wrote, a lot of Chiefs Kingdom has said Brian Cook has showed a big improvement this year. Let's look at the numbers and decide. So you can see 2023, this year, we've played 2 weeks. He's played 136 total snaps so far, which is a lot of snaps in comparison to last year. He's played 48 run defensive, and he's only been rated a 44.4 for PFF. And again, everybody, you can't trust PFF's this and that. We all totally understand it. But this is one, if not the most trusted one that everybody goes for to gauge this kind of stuff. Right? Am I right or wrong? So
Right.
you take it with a grain of salt.
It's just a tool, right?
Yes, but
Don't mean it's not the end all be all.
Right, but the tool so far has kind of let us verify what we thought we've seen with our eyes and so forth.
Right.
So it's not been too bad. It's just a little different. But anyways, a 44.4 per PFF on a 48 run defensive snaps. So not too good against the run. 88 coverage snaps, 58.7. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. His tackling grade, not good. 33.8. His overall is a 54.4, and he allowed 4 catches on 7 targets for 68 yards. In all of last season, if you want to compare last season this season, he had 341 total snaps. So he's almost taken half of the snaps he's taken so far. So that means these numbers here could kind of translate to these pretty well because he's pretty much taken almost half of them. So check it out. He's already played 58 run defenses last year. He's already played 48 this year.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot more time in this year.
Right. But last year, on just 10 more run defensive sets, he almost finished at a 68. And this year, he's at a 44, which means he's down 24 points, almost 25 points against the run. His coverage grade, 275 to 88. So 60.9 on the 275. He did a lot more, a lot bigger body of work. And he's still graded higher than he's done this year in 58.7. His tackling was a 66 last year. His tackling this year's a 33. That's half. You know what I'm trying to say? So right. What do you decipher out of that? Like, you don't say Brian Cook sucks.
Here's
you
what
don't
I
say Brian Cook is.
We're looking at it after 2 games. It's the first 2 games of the season. This is the first time that Brian Cook has had this much responsibility.
Okay.
It's just him getting comfortable with what he's doing, being a starting safety. In my opinion, I think I haven't seen him miss any big tackles or anything like that.
Agreed.
I haven't seen anything from Brian Cook that popped off to me that, man, this guy's not playing so well. I've not seen anything like that. Like, to me, it's maybe he's a little quiet, but that's not a bad thing.
That's what we talked about. We thought Brian Cook, he's not horrible, but he's not making the big play. Like, you're not seeing him flash. He could have made a big play last week and got completely, like, OPI'd into the turf. Almost broke his face.
Yeah, it was rough.
On that horrible call. But from what I see from this, dude, I tell you what I see. You say that it's just 2 weeks in, but I'm telling you that there's 341 snaps as a rookie, and he's already done almost half of those as a second-year player. So, so presumably, out of half the snaps he took last year, he's a year into the system. These numbers should be much higher, not much lower. The longer in the season this goes and you give them more to grade on, then you should see the run defense come down, the coverage run down. Because usually the less you play, the higher you are.
You're going off 2 games. If he has 2 mediocre games or 1 bad game, it's gonna show up more.
Exactly. It'll even out. But I'm just saying this. What I'm trying to say is that the eye test, when everybody was like, Brian Cook looks really good this year, the eye test is kind of it kind of let us down just a tad bit because it's not. So what's he doing that's making everybody think he's doing great?
Well, that I don't know, because like I said, I've not seen anything out of Brian Cook really. Like, I don't.
Hey, don't get negative. Don't get negative. People's going to misconstrue this all as being negative to Brian Cook. Just digging.
Can I finish what I was saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't seen anything out of him that made me think he's playing bad. Like I said, most of the time, if you don't hear something or see something out of people, like, they're playing pretty solid. Like, you don't see them whiffing on tackles. You don't see them doing this or that. Not worried about him whatsoever. He'll be just fine. I think
exactly.
Of course, you want to dig in and kind of take a look at things, but I feel like,
but
2 games into the season is what does it really tell you? What does it really tell you?
Right, 2 games in though, his numbers are not as good as the other safety. And the only reason I started with Brian Cook is because over the past week, we were all being told that what in the world's going on? We were all being told that Justin Reed is the weak point of the offense. Justin Reed needs to be traded. Justin Reed can't tackle. Justin Reed can't do this, can't do that. That's been a talking point on X for weeks. So, anyways,
Why?
I don't know. There was a few guys out there. I don't want to name the podcast. I don't want to name the person, but I've seen it on 2 different podcasts. If you guys watched it and you know it, you can talk amongst yourself. I'm not going to name drop it. There was a guy that's big on Chiefs Twitter that said that Justin Reed was not very good. He was the weakest link. And so I kind of wanted to subtly say that you might be a little wrong. So I threw up lots of misconceptions of Chiefs safety Justin Reed going around right now. Let's take a look. In week 2 versus Jacksonville, he had 66 total snaps, 14 against the run. That's a 71.5 per PFF against the run. That's a high number, 71.5. You don't find many defenders getting that high against the run, especially from a safety aspect. 47 in coverage at basically a 65. That's pretty high too. That's pretty good.
Right.
He rushed 5 times. So he actually rushed 5 times. That wasn't too good. I went back and watched the ones where he rushed. He didn't really get there and create any pressure or anything, but they kind of just picked him up every time. It's almost like they knew the safety was coming, which makes sense. Why do you have Justin Reed near the box if he's probably not going to come?
He's been in the box quite a bit, though, to be honest,
Right.
this last game anyway.
He does. So anyways, I said the talking point is that he misses lots of tackles because that's what this person said. And it's perceived that Snead is the better tackler, which I was told all week long that Snead tackles better than Justin Reed. Well, now, if you're a fan of the channel, you know that we'll hold Snead accountable for tackles, and this guy misses lots of tackles.
Right.
So
I know that
go ahead.
I know that you touch on this in this tweet, but why are they comparing Justin Reed to L'Jarius Snead?
Because the person that was comparing it actually said, well, we need to get rid of Justin Reed. He's the weak point. If we have to, we can put Snead at safety because he tackles better. That was sort of the comment.
That's stupid.
That you could just put Snead back there. He tackles better.
That's so ignorant.
It is ignorant.
Onward.
So anyways, I wrote that he only missed 1 tackle this year for Justin Reed. He's missed 1 tackle. That was week 1. Snead missed 6 through the first 2 weeks. So that if you say Snead's a better tackler than Reed, you're wrong. Snead had more missed tackles than he did last year. Snead led the team with 13. Reed was not up there. I think Reed had like 8, 10 maybe tops. Zero missed tackles versus Jacksonville. He only allowed 6 receptions for 49 yards through 2 weeks. Snead's let 7 for 94. Now that's the one thing that you can't hardly compare a corner and a safety to, because Snead does shadow top tier wide receivers.
Right, but a lot of times safeties are getting in late, so they're like actually just trying to stop a guy that caught a ball in his zone or something like that.
So this is the one thing, but I wanted to show it because people still wanted to know that. And then I wrote, by the way, and here's what you said: 2 different positions, but that's been the comparison going around. Calling Reed the weakest link of the defense may just be a bad take, and our eyes may be deceiving us. And I was saying that as in bad take. Your eyes are deceiving you. He's not that bad. Like you guys are trying to call him out. He's not that bad.
We've talked about how we want Justin Reed to take the next step and like maybe just start leading that defense and pulling a straight honey badger. We've talked about how we'd like to see him kick it up a notch, but as far as Justin Reed, I think he's been pretty solid, and I think he's still like we talked about this before the season started. I think Justin Reed's going to turn it on this year. We think it's going to be a good year for Justin Reed, right?
Yeah, and again, when you're starting to compare, you can't like the safety to corner. You can't really compare. Like I said, Justin Reed was not trying to stop, Calvin Ridley. Like he's probably going up more against still a good tight end, a great tight end they have in Jacksonville.
Ingram,
Evan Ingram's a good tight end, or maybe a slot guy here and there. Like you said, they're usually in the safeties. They're catching the ball and stopping them. But I wasn't trying to make that point. Everybody else was making that point. I was just trying to compare the two for the people making the point. Justin Reed found that post. Justin Reed, the safety for the Kansas City Chiefs. And boy, did he chime in. And he calls these people out. He said, most of these opinions are made by people who have absolutely no clue what they're talking about, LOL. I don't have time for dummies with a microphone, so I just block them. He just blocks them. And I was like, Justin Reed, seen this? He's going to do what everybody else does on X, not read anything I wrote because it was a little long. And he's going to say, we're dummies with microphones, Steve. He's going to block the crap out of us.
No.
He's going to think we're the ones that was saying he's bad. Nay, he did not. He actually used that Stanford education. He read the post. He realized we were helping him. And he did not give us the block. I said, since we're spared the block, we the good guys with mics, I guess. He ended up going on a blocking spree. He blocked 15 people. I don't know. People were like raging today. That's been a big thing. But everybody was laughing about it. That was going around X a little bit today. Everybody's like, Justin Reed was blocking everybody because of that post. Sorry. I didn't mean to call you guys out, but you're wrong.
But I did mean to call you guys out. You literally, that's why you did it.
Don't say stupid stuff. Like, this is my thing. If you want to talk trash on the Chiefs or you want to be constructive in your criticism, at least have something that backs you a little bit. Like when we sometimes say, look, Snead, yeah, he's not the greatest tackler. At least we can go to the missed tackles and be like, he led the team last year in 13. He's leading the team this year with 6. Like we can at least put that stat out. But to just say Justin Reed can't tackle and Snead's better at tackling, you have nothing to validate that. There's nothing. So I'll call you out on that. Don't do it. That's stupid. You're not going to slander Justin Reed. I'm a fan of Justin Reed. I like Justin Reed. I think he's a good guy. I think he's good for the defense. Do I want him to get better? I want everybody to get better. I just want him to be a little more consistent.
Well, I think, honestly, though, I think Justin Reed's pretty solid right now. We just know that he's good enough to take that next step. That's what we're waiting on.
Exactly. Dez with another 2-bomb. Why is our defense not getting interceptions? I'm going to tell you why. Because so far, from what I can find during the All-22 film, and you're going to see some of this in just a little bit, from what I'm finding, our pass rush is causing a problem, and our DBs are being super sticky to the point to where these guys would have to be madmen to throw the football up. They're just not even throwing it up. They're just eating it and taking the sack. They're dumping down as fast as they can.
They're designing plays to get the ball away like instantly. Like if you didn't notice that against Jacksonville, I mean, Trevor Lawrence was throwing the ball backwards half the time to get this ball.
They were literally taking, as soon as it touched his hand, they were getting it out, right? So they're just not throwing into double and triple coverage. They're not doing anything like that. They're not really running a lot of timing routes against us. So you're not going to see that. Dez with 2 more and says, what are McDuffie's PFF numbers so far? We dug into McDuffie the other day a little bit. Now, I didn't bring up
McDuffie is an absolute beast.
Right. I didn't do McDuffie on – I'll look at him right now for you. I didn't do a McDuffie tweet. I covered a lot of people this week. I covered Snead. Maybe I did do a McDuffie tweet.
I think you did. McDuffie's solid, bro. Like, if you go look at his PFF scores, they're high.
Wait, I did do a McDuffie tweet. Let me find it and I'll bring it up. We'll just look at it together.
Yeah, McDuffie's the eye test is definitely spot on with him. He's been great. So
yeah, McDuffie's been pretty good. I'm going to pull this off the screen, Des, for just a minute, and so I can bring up McDuff, the Warden, the McDuffie,
the greatest.
Here we are. This is what I pulled up for McDuffie. Trent McDuffie has been a beast this season. Through 2 games, he's logged 135 snaps. 78 of those are coverage snaps. Every single one of those have been from the slot. So all of his coverage snaps have been from the slot. He has strictly done the slot this year. So you would see last year a little bit of Snead doing it, a little bit of McDuffie. It's McDuffie's slot. He's got an 81 defensive grade, which is really high. Oh, that's overall defense. And a 79.2 coverage grade out of the slot, which means that's basically, we'll just take the average. So he's 81 and 79. He's an 80 across the board at defense and coverage. 78 coverage snaps, and he's covering at an 80% rate. Really good. He's only allowed 7 catches for 58 yards. This was it. 70 of 78's come out of slot coverage. So he's only done 8 out of the slot. That's not been slot. But yeah, his numbers have been amazing. If you look even deeper into it, let me bring up his
just for a little comparison. 79.2 coverage grade per PFF. Sauce Gardner is a 79.2 coverage score on PFF.
Right.
So that just shows you how dominant Trent McDuffie's been so far.
Right. He's also tackling. He's got 8 tackles. He's got 4 assists. Now he does have 3 missed tackles. They attributed him 2 missed tackles against 2 missed tackles against the Lions, and they give him 1 against Jacksonville. So even though he is tackling, he hits people. Again, he's missed 3. And you don't really want to miss tackles. Let's be honest. 3 at 2 games in's a lot.
He's made a lot of good tackles too, though.
But yeah, he's done really well. I think what he's doing now is he's trying to hit stick people, and you're every now and then you're going to miss a little.
And
bit.
just to really stress that 79.2 coverage grade, that's a better grade than Patrick Surtain.
Right.
Yeah.
McDuffie's been a monster.
Yeah,
he's been a flat out monster. That's all there is to it. So yeah, there you go, Dez. Appreciate all the chats, brother. Everybody throw some legendaries and catch ups for Dez. We got Chris Wright here. Said he's been a member for 5 months. Nice. Number 2 defense in the NFL at the moment. When the offense wakes up, watch out.
Heck
Dude,
yeah,
that's
man.
definitely the sentiment.
Spot on, brother. That's what I was saying. Like, as good as this defense is playing, wait till that offense clicks too. Normally the defense gets better throughout the year too under Spag. So maybe we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg here.
Right. Throw some catch-ups in the chat for Chris Wright.
Heck
been
yeah,
a member for 5 months.
He's been a member since we started memberships then.
Right. Chris Wright is a legend.
He might have been the first. He might have been the first member, actually.
He's a legend. Speaking of legendary, I see everybody talking about Taylor Swift in the chat. Look at this one, Steve.
Taylor Tots.
What is this?
That's great, dude.
That's who Travis Kelce's dating right now?
Yeah, that's Travis Kelce's girlfriend right there, brother.
Dang.
That's freaking awesome, bro. Hey, you know what? Jared wants some daggone legendaries in the chat. So he put out the $1 here. Appreciate you, Jared. Put some legendaries in the chat for Jared.
Let's give Jared a legendary.
Spam it. Also got a 2 bomb from Chief KT. Says it's the Bears, but take Field serious. He will run. 100%. We know he'll run. That's what he wants to do. He tends to want to run, probably to a fault, like we were saying earlier. So this has got to be a game where Willie Gay, Drew Tranquil, Nick, all of our linebackers have got to be ready to get sideline to sideline and make sure he don't break anything. So I think we'll be just fine, though. Defense has looked good so far. So do you spy Justin Fields, or do you just let it play out?
I don't think you have to. Then again, I don't know if it could hurt because I don't think they've got the playmakers that you would necessarily have to focus on that much, right? Like, didn't they acquired that wide receiver out of the Panthers during the draft process, right? What's his name? I forgot his name already.
What are you talking? Oh, DJ Moore?
Yeah, DJ Moore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's their biggest threat offensively. They've got Cole Kmet, right? That's their tight end. They don't have a lot of big weapons.
Yeah, still got Mooney.
Nothing that scares
they
me.
trade him.
Yeah, they still got Darnell Mooney, I believe, but nothing that scares me. I don't know if you have to spy him. But Drew Tranquil could do that very well. Drew Tranquil could do it. Willie Gay could do it. I actually seen in the All-22 this week, they actually spied Trevor Lawrence a couple times. And do you know who they used to spy Trevor Lawrence?
Bolton?
Kind of odd. But they used Nick Bolton.
Oh, Nick Bolton? I was kind of thinking, like, you think it would be Willie Gay. You think it would be Drew Tranquil. That's why I said Bolton. Yeah, but, Leo's been playing excellent, too. Like, that's another guy on the defense that's really stepped up. So,
we got some Leo stuff to talk about in just a minute.
We'll talk about it. Appreciate the 2, Chief KT. Where'd that go? I had a
Jesse asked this. Can I answer this one real quick while you're looking?
Go ahead. Jesse
says, how's Mike Edwards been doing? Mike Edwards has been on the struggle bus so far. He's not looked great.
How many snaps has he actually got?
He's only played 36 total snaps. So you got to think about that. Like Justin Reed played double his snaps in just the last game. Justin Reed had 66 snaps just against Jacksonville.
Right.
So he's only played 36 snaps. He's been in the box a lot. But technically, the funny thing is, even though he's been in the box, he's had to leave the box and actually cover people. So they've put him down to make some plays against the run game, but he's actually been in there during man coverage, and he's actually had to, guard a tight end.
That's fine because he's known as a ball hawk. Like that's what people know about Mike Edwards.
Right. So he's had 33 out of his 36. He's had to play pass coverage. So that's literally like 97%. His defensive overall grade after 2 weeks is a 50. His coverage is a 52.3. He's allowed 3 catches on 3 targets. So when they're targeting Mike Edwards, it's 100%. He's allowed 30 yards. He's only given up 10 yards per, but he has allowed 3 for 3. It's nothing crazy. He's not really got to be utilized like we brought Mike Edwards in to be utilized for. But like Steve said with Brian Cook, it's so early, it's tough to gauge how somebody's really doing through 2 weeks, especially when they're so new. Think about it. Justin Reed through 2 weeks last year was struggle bussing. And then he started picking. Remember, he even said it took him to week 15 before he figured it all out.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Jared says, I'm broke, guys, but I love this podcast. That's all right. Join the club, brother. Everybody's broke.
Hey, if you're in America these days, you're probably broke.
Hey, thanks for the support, though, my man.
We'll give you that one right now.
Got to get you a second job just to buy some groceries. Getting a little wild out there.
It's getting wild.
Well, hey, you know what? Let's check out some film. I want to see this all 22. I do, but before we do that, guys, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. We appreciate you hanging out with us. We're getting ready to dive into some film from the all 22 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. See what we can see from there. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers before the end of the season. I think we're sitting around 12.7K, so we got some work to do. Michael. Y'all hit that sub button if you haven't. Hang out with us more often. Mike, let's watch some tape.
Do you want to watch some tape?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Let me go back here. Let me get it going, and I'll put it on the screen for you.
Before we get going, though,
what?
I just want to bring this up. Yogi with the freaking 10 bomb.
Yogi, our boy.
He says, trying to be objective, I think we have the absolute best linebacker room in the league, hands down, not even close. Man, Yogi, they've looked so good, man. And like we talked about before the season started, there were people that were putting our linebacker core in the top 5 before the season even started. What do you think about that now, Mike? They've actually upped their stock because they've looked pretty daggone good, man.
They've upped it. Look, over the past few days, I have been diving in. I've been watching all 22. I've been going through PFF. I've been going through Pro Football Reference. You name it. I've been trying to get down to the nitty gritty of what's going on. And I've been very curious about the defense because they're playing so well. This is what I'm going to tell you, and this should be the best thing you hear today. They've not even scratched the surface of how good they can be. If you look at them individually, if you look at how they do against the run, how they're doing against pass coverage, how are they doing on the blitz, how are they doing here, none of them are doing amazingly well. And we know they can. They're all around the 50 mark, 55, 60 mark. They're not grading super high. As a unit, every time that one of them has a miscue, the unit and the defense as a whole is making up for it. And that's why the defense looks so good.
I think I saw where Chris Wright put in the chat, the Chiefs are the number 2 defense in the league right now behind Dallas.
Right. And the individuals, when you look at the individuals have so much room for improvement. So if they just improve 5%, this defense is number 1 by far. And these guys Leo Chanel, I mean, come on. He's just scratching the surface. We know Nick Bolton's not playing up to the highest level Nick Bolton can play. We know Justin Reed's not got to the highest level he can play. We know Snead's not playing where he can play.
Right.
McDuffie's playing well, but I still think the ceiling's up for McDuffie. Chris Jones just got in for 1 game that only played 30 snaps, and this guy was a hellraiser out there. Like, he rated the highest defensive interior of everybody in football this week on 33 snaps. He was the highest rated defensive interior
Chris Jones
player.
Did?
Chris Jones, the highest rated defensive interior.
What? Really?
What? Yeah. I know people wanted to trade him, but
I can't believe that.
The crazy thing is
that must be a mistake. He's not
if
worth
you look
any money.
at all the players that played over 30 snaps, only 2 people were above Chris Jones in all of football. And that was Micah Parsons at 1 and Joey Bosa at number 2.
They're all rigged. He's not worth anything. Trade him.
But I tell you, yeah, you're right, Yogi. Like, they're a good team. And again, when you dig in, they've not even scratched the surface yet. So this team could be lethal.
It'll be scary. 10 bomb from Jared as well says, I honestly think we should have kept EB. I know you guys don't agree, but EB had a relationship with all the players, not just one. That's going around a lot too, Jared. There's a lot of people that think Nagy has something to do with how the offense has started out a little, stagnant or whatever. Personally, I don't think we have really seen the effects of Nagy yet. Like, I feel like as bad as this offense has been early on, we've seen them be that bad last year at times, or maybe worse. So I mean, it's kind of hard to be like, man, if EB was here, this wouldn't be happening. Well, that's funny. It happened last season a
Hey,
lot.
well, we give
So-
EB some crap,
Yeah.
here and there and everywhere. I mean, why not? There was some stuff that it felt like EB was kind of in the middle of, some of the locker room drama a little bit.
Right.
But I will say
He's
this:
a very
EB
polarizing guy.
But he gets the best out of his players. He's doing a good job in Washington. I think EB deserves a shot at a head coaching job. I wish EB. Isn't it funny how they were talking about EB possibly getting the head coach at Colorado, and then they go hire Deion Sanders? Talk about missing your
Can we call him Bieniemy instead of EB? There's only one EB.
the Eric Berry.
Yeah.
Bieniemy. Isn't it funny though? Like he had a chance to go to Colorado. He said no, I will not, and then they end up getting Deion
Prime.
Sanders. Like think about that. Like Colorado was it was their time to shine in the universe. It had all aligned. They were going to get Eric
All the stars
Bieniemy
aligned.
or Deion Sanders. Like it was just their time. They'd
Nah,
suffered enough, I think.
I think it's kind of hard to say one way or the other as far as offensive coordinator goes. I think we have to play out this season, see how it goes. And honestly, right now, I've not seen anything different in the offense from last season. Like it's just been stagnant because it's hitting that funk like they did last year and the year before that and the year before that. I feel like it's an Andy Reid thing, just where he gets to where he don't want to run the ball.
Right.
And it just makes things kind of, But, yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong, no. I mean, we'll wait and we'll see about it, Jared. Appreciate the 10, my man. Y'all put some legendaries and some catch-ups in the chat for Jared.
No, I don't think he's wrong at all.
And for Yogi.
I think wanting EB and saying EB was a good coach is fine. Like, I'm fine with it. There were just times that we were like, hey, but so far, EB proved that maybe he was the one trying to get Andy to run the ball more because they asked Andy about that today. Did you see that? Some guy said, Andy, you guys only run the ball 4 times and a half. Like, was that by design? And Andy literally almost threw up in his mouth that he would ask him about the run game. Andy was like,
we don't talk about that here.
He ain't having it.
Tony says Nagy sucks. Look at the Bears offense last year with Nagy for 2-3 years as the OFC. Awful. Matt Nagy was actually a good offensive coordinator for the Chiefs before he took this job with the Chicago Bears. I also feel like Matt Nagy should not have taken the job with the Chicago Bears. He is not the one that decided to draft Mitchell Trubisky above Patrick Mahomes. He was in a bad spot. I'm not saying that he did. I'm not saying he's not a little bit to blame for how bad they were, but I feel like he got put into a bad spot. I don't think he should have ever took that job. I think he'll be just fine. I think he's a good offensive coordinator. We saw that when Alex Smith was here. I mean, we have to think, man. We had Alex Smith, and we were in the playoffs.
Hey, we were
right?
joking a little bit.
I mean, come on.
We were joking a little bit before the show, but we were like, were the Chiefs looking forward to this game and just trying to sabotage them for years? Like, did they send Matt Nagy over there to sabotage them? Then they sent Ryan Poles over there. Then they sent Ryan Poles, and they were like, now you get him. And then now they've got their coordinators are quitting. They've drafted crazy people.
The Chiefs were so terrified of the Bears, the almighty Bears.
The Chiefs also said, no, we want the Bears at home. We're not going to play the Bears in Germany. You remember that? Because that was, and they were like, no, we want that as a home game. It's like they're like, for 3 years, there must be something that Clark Hunt is really trying to get at over there.
Got the 2 bomb from Enrique. Appreciate you, brother. Hope you're having a good one. Followed up by the 10 bomb from Jan Fry Gable, the legend herself. Hope you're doing good, Jan. Hope you guys are having a good night. And y'all put some legendaries in the chat for Jan and Enrique. Mike, let's get a move on it, brother. Let's look at some film. You guys ready to watch some tape? Throw it in the chat. I know I am. I didn't get a chance to dig through it again. I know you did, so you're doing the Lord's work for me here. I'm ready to see it.
I dug in a little bit. Let's look at the first play. Why not? Again, a lot of positive this week. I want to focus on the positive a lot more because we did a lot of things right. So let's go into this play here. This is a little. I've got it drew up right now. So this is a play. Can you see it really, really good?
Yeah, you can see.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, so here you've got the Chiefs. They've come out. They've got basically 3 wide receivers. They've got down here at the very bottom, that's Kadarius Toney. You've got Sky Moore. At the top of the screen, you've got MVS. Can you see my little mouse? Can you see the mouse too? Because I can use that as a pointer.
I do not
Don't
see
know
your
if you can
mouse.
see it. Okay, so you can't see that. And then you have Noah Gray lined up on the right side of the line. And then in the backfield, you've obviously got Pacheco. They're going to put Noah Gray in motion. As you can see, the little dot. They're going to bring him over, so you got like a trips left situation. And then they're going to throw a little screen pass down here to Kadarius Toney, which I've got this little, like, it's not a check mark. That's just showing that he's going to step back and
He's
take
got
the
a little
pass.
thing going up his butt.
Yeah, he's farting a little bit. Like, he's ready to go. But then you're going to see that Noah Gray comes across, then he's going to block. He's going to get this guy on the outside. And then Sky Moore is going to take either the safety or the linebacker, which one comes their way. You're going to notice in the middle of the screen the X on the defensive end. That's a linebacker / defensive end, because you know how Jacksonville does it. But either way, he's going to be unblocked. You're going to see the entire offensive line just haul ass to the right, trying to sell this fake handoff. And again, I'm wondering if it was an RPO. Like, did Mahomes have the option to hand it? But I don't think it was ever designed to be a handoff. I really do think they were just trying to hold this guy, and then Mahomes was going to get it around him. So I'm going to go ahead and put the play in motion here. You're going to see, there comes Noah Gray.
Stone Cold KT.
Across the formation, there went Noah Gray. Now watch right here. As soon as it goes, now you see how Mahomes catches the ball. Pacheco's already started. Look at the line. Donovan Smith just let 46 run right by him. Like, he's just unblocked. He's unblocked.
Yeah.
So everybody's hauling ass to the right, and Pacheco is going to come across. And you're going to see Mahomes literally barely fake the ball because he can't hold it too long because 46 is coming down his throat.
Right.
So, boom, it's a very quick, and he's already in throwing motion. Beautiful throwing motion, by the way. Kadarius Toney set. Look, he's got every linebacker looking at him. The deep safety's looking. Even 31 is looking back at Mahomes right here. He's not even paying attention that Noah Gray's about to be up his butt in about 2 seconds. So they're watching Mahomes. I'll go ahead and start the play. Kadarius Toney catches the ball. Perfect. Sky Moore lays out, gets a body. He kind of whiffs a little bit, but he does enough to help him. And then look at Noah Gray. A good block right here by Noah Gray. And this is why Noah Gray's been getting a lot more playing time. Look at the green grass in front of Kadarius Toney, by the way. And he gets through it. He gets through it. Now, what he does here is he don't just continue to run. I felt like if Kadarius Toney would have went to the sideline,
why wouldn't he
and just ran, he was good. He does do the 1-2 whoop whoop. That's probably where he messed up his toe, and he flips by him. He does get by him, but it causes him to be pursued from the backside.
Right.
And the funny thing is, if Kadarius Toney would have just ran up the middle,
he's fast enough to have took that sideline and gone.
He may have took it the whole distance.
What do you think he was seeing there, Mike?
I don't know, because I was like, is there a safety out there that we're not seeing? But if you count the players on the field, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All 11 defenders are in this frame. So he's not seeing nobody.
That was a touchdown, bro.
Yeah, it really was. I don't know why. I guess he thought his angle, I think he thought what he was going to do is that the guy's taking a great angle on him. He really is. He's got a good angle on him. So I think what he wanted to do was use his speed against him. He thought he could put it, flip it, and then maybe get back at top speed.
Right.
Yeah, and it didn't happen because Jacksonville, again, good defense. These guys do a heck of a job of getting to the ball. Look at them. Every one of them are running to the ball. Nobody is not jogging to the ball here. Like, they're all going. So, yeah, great play, by the way. In my opinion, that was one of the better plays that we had on the day. That was very well executed.
That's the kind of thing that we need to
pull
be
that
doing
out
with Kadarius Toney. We need to be doing that with Sky Moore. We need to be doing that with Rasheed Rice. Just scheme them some plays, get the ball in their hand, and let them work.
So you like the positive play. You like me showing the positive. I could have showed you the negative.
That. I'm just saying, like that's the type of thing that we need to do. I know sometimes it's not the most popular thing in the world to pull up and throw a screen pass, and everybody's like, "Oh, another screen." But it's like we have guys that can make plays when they get the ball in their hands. Like, so give them their opportunities. Like, let it,
Right. Jared with the 2-bomb. He says, I feel the drama was because he wanted structure. Let's talk about EB. Yeah, you're probably right. I think Eric Berry. Steve, you got me saying Eric Berry. Eric Bieniemy. I think Eric Bieniemy is he is that like hard, like he's like that dad that's really hard on the kids, you know. He's like, boy, you won't take no breaks. You'll do your homework.
Yeah.
But yeah, I that's good. There's a time and place for that. But in the NFL and just life in general, kids are not being coached this way anymore. They don't know how to handle it.
Some of them don't respond well to it at all.
Some don't respond well, and I think honestly, adults these days don't know how to handle a guy like that. I mean, look at how Washington was crying over the whole offseason, how he was conducting camp.
Yeah, true.
Dude, these are grown men out there just crying. And I think Bieniemy sees it as like, you guys are soft. And let's be honest, they're a little soft. But that's just the world, man. Everybody's a wuss nowadays. But yeah, appreciate that, brother. Let me see. Where were we at? Did we get Enrique with a $2 super sticker?
Yeah, I got him.
Okay, so did you get Jan too?
Yes, Mike. Where were you at?
Just making sure. I think I was doing a little. I was getting the.
He was taking a nap
prepared.
before he did
I was getting the
play.
plays prepared.
Taking a little nap.
Just making sure.
Pacey been a member for 2 months now. He says this is super random, but do y'all like fishing and hunting? Also, thanks for all the awesome content. God bless y'all. God bless you, Pacey. Thanks for watching, my man.
Pacey, our boy.
We're not big fishermen or hunters or anything like that. No. Have we been? Yeah. But it's not something we do regularly. No.
We used to fish a lot back when we were like teenagers. We'd go with a guy named Charles. He was a cool dude. He was actually like he did tournaments and stuff, right? So. Yeah, so he was pretty good. He would teach us weird tricks like throwing cans of corn in the lake. I don't even know if that's apparently if you throw cans of corn in, it's either bass or catfish one react to that and like you'll start catching.
Can you tell that Mike doesn't fish, Pacey?
Sorry, it's been a while. I would like to get into hunting a little bit. Like I feel like it would be nice and serene. Like I don't know if I would like actually
just go out there and freeze, get a little
right.
piece.
I'd probably just go out and freeze and eat like Little Debbie's snack cakes. That's probably what I'd want to do just to get some quiet. I don't know if I'd actually hunt, but I'm not opposed to it by any means. Like we're in Kentucky, like we're used to that. So
absolutely,
yeah. But I wish we had more time to do stuff like that. To be honest, Steve.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, I want to shout out Chris Wright with the 5 gifted. Appreciate you, my man. You guys thank Chris Wright if you got one of those memberships.
With the 5 gifted. So did you like that play, Steve? When I went through and watched it, we executed screens pretty well. I'm going to have a play in a minute. Actually, I don't know if I brought it up, actually. But I think I did. Patrick Mahomes kind of like, we run a screen, but it's almost to a fault to where Mahomes, it left me asking, did Mahomes misread the defense? Or did Jacksonville trick them by just complete, like, it's almost like a trickery by, like, just accident. And it fooled Mahomes. And I'll let you be the judge because I brought it up and I was like, did Mahomes actually see that and cause him to run the wrong play? Or did Mahomes not see that and they just ran the play and it got blown up? But it's kind of funny, and I'm going to let you be the judge of that one because it was wild. I'll find it. Maybe I'll do that one next because it's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, because I'm completely lost. So let's do that. So I'll know what you're talking about.
Okay, here we go. Let me get the play up.
You lost me in that.
Sorry.
In that little tirade.
Okay, I'm going to show you because here it is. It's a fun one here. It's just strange. Okay, so here we go. We've got it up. So, again, the Chiefs are trips left. They've got 3 on the left side. They've got Justin Watson up top, and then they've got the running back in the backfield. Okay, he's in the shotgun, blah, blah, blah. Now, watch. The dude circled here, the big bright circle. So, down here at the bottom, you're going to see, I think that's MVS. Like, his job is to take this corner completely out of the play. Kelsey and Sky Moore's job is to just run across the middle of the field and take their defenders out. And then I'm thinking this is Pacheco because I don't remember the play, but the way he's lining up there, it looks like Pacheco. Pacheco's going to swing out this way, and they're going to throw the swing pass to Pacheco. You know what I'm trying to say? So they're just clearing everything out, trying to get Pacheco the ball. Well, you don't typically want to run screens when they're setting in zone defenses because in zone defenses, guess what? You can't clear anything out because they just going to set in the spot.
Right.
So all these clear out routes don't typically work. So how to counteract? How do you tell if a defense is in a zone or man-to-man? You put them in motion. You put a guy in motion. So watch. Mahomes motions Kelsey. You're going to see Mahomes motion Kelsey when this gets going. There he goes. You see Kelsey kind of like it's not like a huge motion because he's wanting to keep him on this side of the field. But he starts like sidestepping inside. Now, the funny thing is, watch the guy that we had circled here and watch when Kelsey goes in motion. Watch this guy ever so slightly, moves. See how he moved with him?
Mm-hmm.
Did Mahomes take that as they were in man-to-man coverage? Did Mahomes think that guy was on Kelsey, which means Sky would have had this safety at the top? MVS is going to run this guy out, and they're going to run all these guys across the field because here they go. There's their routes. There they go across the field, right? And then you see Creed come out getting prepared for the block.
And they're all sitting on that screen.
And if you look, they all sit in a zone, and they're all watching Pacheco. So did Mahomes, that was my whole thing. And, of course, they get to the ball. There's nothing Creed can do about that. Look at that gang tackling, by the way. That's 8 people there.
Right.
That's how good Jacksonville gets to the ball. But my whole entire thing was, did Mahomes see him move slightly with Kelsey and determine that it was man-to-man and keep him in the play? Or did he just not see it, and Andy just wanted this run against zone or man-to-man or whatever? They were just staying in the play. Like, so that was my idea, was like, did Mahomes see that little subtle movement that this guy did by accident where he just readjusted himself?
I don't think he even saw it, bro. Go back, play the play in real time, watch Patrick Mahomes. I think he's already snapping the ball by the time.
Yeah, he's actually, I think you're right. I think he's kind of looking down already when the guy's moving.
Is that a linebacker there or corner?
Which one? The guy guy here in the middle? That's a corner, I believe. I think it's a nickel.
So, yeah, I don't think he even saw that, man. I think they just that's just a play they were going to run.
Yeah, that's kind of, after seeing it now, I think kind of, by the way, though, yeah, you sometimes plays just get blown up because of defenses. These guys run a lot of zone today. And when this got blown up, that's the reason. Look, even MVS is running back, chasing his guy like he's going to do something because as soon as he's seen it, he's going back to the ball. Like, there's nothing you can do. Now, if you'll go watch Sky Moore here and Kelsey, which are stacked on each other, and they're going to run their guys out, right? They're supposed to be running off the nickel and they're going to run off the safety or the linebacker. Watch them. Kelsey gets about 10 yards up the field, and he's like, wait a second. They're in zone. This ain't going to work.
Yeah.
He's completely he's just running like he's jogging out there, and look at him. He's like, well, whatever. And if I'm not mistaken, that may have been the play where Kelsey got so mad he took his helmet off and got a flag for it. I'm not 100% sure about that because on all 22, you don't get to see all the in-between stuff.
I guess I get what you're saying about it. Should Patrick Mahomes have realized it was a zone and not ran that play? Should he have got out of that play?
Right. Is he even allowed to do that? Casey Van Dan said, was that in the first 15 plays? I don't think so. I think that was in the second quarter at some point.
I don't think that should be a thing either.
I'll have to go back and look at that.
Is he allowed to do that? Absolutely. Patrick Mahomes should also always 100% be allowed to change up a play. Like, no matter, if he thinks that should never be a question. Like, it's silly to have to ask that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think he should always get that. But that was also my thing was like, well, why didn't he come out of the play?
Maybe,
and that's why I was like,
a bad read by Mahomes, possibly.
Right, could be, or like you said, he didn't see the guy. So if he didn't see the guy, did he just
Honestly,
maybe?
Don't think he saw him. I think he's already snapping the ball.
Right, so maybe that was just designed, and they were just going to stick to it. That could have also been. I didn't get to see what the yardage was on that. That's the bad thing about the all 22.
Well, I would be interested to see what the defense was playing on the previous couple of plays.
Right, because that could have been the same kind of thing. If they're just running a 4-3 right here.
Right.
Like, that's basically, not even a 4-3. They're running a nickel coverage, actually, because that's not a linebacker.
Right. Got a 2-bomb from Dez. He says, why is McKinnon not being used as much in passing? They have been using him okay. He's leaked out a few times, but I don't think Patrick Mahomes has really hit him except for maybe once, twice, if that. It's kind of been a decoy in a lot of these plays, just leaking out one way or the other. So not really sure. I can't really answer that question. I think you'll see a lot more of that. Patrick Mahomes to McKinnon, a little here and there. You'll see much more of that later.
You know what I've noticed, though, after watching 2 weeks of all 22, and this may be an EB versus Nagy thing. So we know that Andy does the majority. Like, he's got 99%. Like, we know they all can, like, tell what plays they want. Mahomes could even come to the sideline and be like, we should run this, and they'll run it. Or he'll say, what do you think about this? And then Andy's like, yeah, let's do it. Nagy does that as well. They go to the sideline, they look at their tablets. Nagy can be like, look, they're playing a cover 2 shell. This play would work perfectly. They'll go to Andy, and Andy's like, cool, let's go. So they all will have some kind of input. Does Andy probably get the final say? I would say yes on 99% of it. Andy probably does get the final play. But the thing that I'm noticing that where these two guys input is I feel like EB, when maybe he was inputting, he was very assertive in the way he inputted it. And maybe Andy listened to him and like almost felt pressured to do more of what EB wanted. Whereas Nagy is kind of, I've noticed with Mahomes under the Nagy, under this first two games, Mahomes has called plays like this, that they just run the play. They don't really come out of it. Mahomes is very focused on one half of the field, on one receiver. He's eyeing them down a lot. It's almost like the plays have been dumbed down as if Mahomes was Justin Fields. So it's almost like he took that back with him a little bit, not remembering that, hey, Mahomes does not have to just eye down one receiver. Like this guy can have multiple reads. And then if that's not the case, then is it Mahomes doing that?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
There's not, I don't care how bad you think an offensive coordinator is, they're never going to be like, hey, don't look at anybody but this one option.
Well, there's like plays where they do that 100%, all the time.
That's 100% on Mahomes.
But there's 100, like there's tons of plays in the playbook where like you'll have, say, two wide receivers this way and one wide receiver this way with a tight end.
I get it, but hey, read
and
the
you're just looking to this side of the field.
And if that's not going to work, you get out of the play, you do something else. Like, it's that can't fall on offensive coordinator. I think that's on Mahomes reading the defense there. I think he just had a miscue. Okay, that's all.
Okay, well, appreciate the $2.90 or the $2, Des. Good question.
I think you'll see more of it. Answer. You'll see more of it later.
I think you'll see it. Steve-O, what's up, Steve-O? He says, Mike, why or how did you choose and or select those sets for film review? I just went through the game. I tried to find the most interesting plays I could find. Like, nobody just wants to watch, where the running back runs into the back of the offensive line and falls down for a yard. So,
well, Clyde only played 2 plays, bro.
Right. He only had 4 to choose from in the first half. But, yeah, I kind of just took plays. And today I tried to focus more on what we did right rather than what we did wrong. Last week we kind of focused on, look, Detroit, like Mahomes did not play a great game against Detroit. And we kind of looked like, was he missing Noah Gray? What was the deal? This time, I think Mahomes played a better game. The offense looked a little bit better this game. I wanted to take off some of the positive because, again, we talked about it earlier. You may not have been here, whatever, but we tend to look at things in a more critical view because of having a playing background and being so competitive, but not so much. Like, we definitely want to show the positives because there's a lot of positives. And believe me, you get just as much of a sense of like last week when we brought out the negative. I think to me that helped me cope with it better because I was like, well, daggone, we could have destroyed Detroit if 1 or 2 things go right. If a lineman makes a block here or if Mahomes sees this, we're stomping them as bad as we looked. And then this week you see the same stuff because you look at what you did do well and you say, wow, if we take this with us going forward and we correct the mistakes, lethal. And yeah, so that's how I did it, Steve-O. Thanks for the question, man.
Hey, I want to shout out Gil with the 5 gifted. Appreciate you, Gil. Hope you're doing good, my man. The legend himself in the house. I ain't seen you in a minute, Gil. How you been? Throw it in the chat. Yeah, what else you got, Mike? Jeff says he wants to see Mike break down the Zapruder film.
What's Zap? Who's Zapruder?
I don't know. Jeff,
let us know what that is.
Yeah.
Wait, should I know what Zapruder is?
I don't know.
Can I Google that really quick? What is that? I feel like I should know it. Oh, never mind. You tricked me. I thought it was a football thing. It says that's a silent 8mm color motion picture sequence shot by Abraham Zapruder on, wait, what was it? Was that like the assassination of JFK?
Yeah.
Daggone it. Jeff. I'll break it down next week if you would like. Yeah, let me find another one, man. I don't mind breaking down plays.
Second gunman on the grassy knoll.
I have some fun with it. Let's look at a defensive play here. I think the defense needs more love. We always want to look at the offense, right? Because we're always like, offense. Offense is fun to break down. But sometimes it's fun to break down some defense too. And let me know in the chat, do you prefer the offensive breakdowns or the defensive breakdowns? Because this is a fun one.
Both of them, baby. I like both.
Dude, this is a great one. So here's what you're going to see is you're going to see the Chiefs coming out here. And they're just crowding the line. They're crowding it big time. They started off trips left. Jacksonville did. So they've got trips left, 3, and then on the other side they've got their I think it's Zay Jones or Ingram one. I can't really tell from here what the number is, but it kind of looks like that's a big body. So I'm pretty sure that's Ingram. They've got a guy in the backfield, but then they're going to motion the running back and have a double, running back, almost like a pro set, but this is coming out of the I formation, so it's not a pro set. Either way, so they motion him to the back. They're trying to get, what are they trying to get out of the motion, Steve? They're trying to find out whether we're in man or we're in zone, right? That's what you send motions for half the time. You want the movement. It gives the quarterback a lot of things. So Trevor Lawrence has already identified we got a single high safety up here at the top. I'm pretty sure it's Brian Cook. If you notice right down here in the box, you've got Justin Reed sitting right in the box. And like you said earlier, Steve, Justin Reed plays in the box a lot.
Yeah.
He really does. So Justin Reed is essentially a linebacker here because you have your 4 down linemen, and then you've got a linebacker off the edge over there. I can't really tell who that is. Is that Willie Gay maybe? And then in the middle, it looks like you got Drew Tranquil. And then you've got McDuffie over here, and then Jalen Watson on the outside where the 40 is. I wish I had like a little screen thing so I could show you guys. Oh, you can see
I can see it a little bit.
You can see it. Okay, so this is
my screen's a lot smaller than theirs is, so they might see it.
Okay, so I can use the mouse to show. So anyways, I'm going to start the film. They're trying to get, an idea of what is happening here. So look, when we're doing this, he identifies, look, Trevor Lawrence has already seen that when he come across the formation, we've shifted. Did you see that? Like when we come across the formation, you see him shift. Drew Tranquil comes more to the middle. Reed comes more towards the tight end here. So he identifies that we're in man-to-man. So they decide that this play should work perfectly. So what they're going to do is they're literally going to send this guy across the field, and these guys are just basically going to set pick plays. They're trying to get They're trying to get this running back leaked out against Jalen Watson. That's all the play is now. So what you're going to see is this, and I highlighted this right here. Justin Reed, he's watching this guy right here. This was technically his man in the green. But he said, no, that's not his man because he's in man-to-man now. And when he comes across the top, he notices the running back leaking behind Trevor Lawrence, and he immediately puts his foot in the dirt and ends that because Snead down here at the bottom is having to watch the tight end who is up on Karlaftis, but he's going to throw Karlaftis off and run the route. So Snead's guy is going to break off. So Justin Reed has to play contained to the edge on him. So Justin Reed, see how he just put his foot in the dirt and found him? Right. Beautiful play by Justin Reed. And that's the stuff that comes unnoticed. People say, Justin Reed can't cover. Justin Reed can't do this. He diagnosed that fast. Like, he was quick. You seen him put his foot in the dirt, and he said, wait, not my guy. And he goes, and he shuts it down. Now, look, Lawrence is eyeing him right here. He sees that this guy in the blue is straight up picking McDuffie. Like, look, the pass has not been thrown. He's blocking. Like, that's a pick play. All day long, that's a pick play. But he sees Jalen Watson and a deep safety, which is Brian Cook, and Brian Cook's not going to influence this play at all. Snead's down here looking – he's lost. His guy's getting ready to run across the middle of the field. Snead's just completely lost. He don't know where he's at. But this running back, he's watching him, and he's like man-to-man against Jalen Watson. We're going to set the pick on McDuffie, and he's going to break it. Nay. My God, did Justin Watson hit stick Watson, the crap out of him. Here it is from this angle. You're going to see Christian Kirk. That was the guy they're trying to get the ball to, by the way. So watch Justin Reed from this angle. He's right here next to Tranquil. Watch him go to follow Christian Kirk because that's technically his man for now. And then he says, nope, not it. And he comes back. And again, beautiful communication here because Drew Tranquil picks up this guy, and then you see Snead. Snead's trying to get off to the edge. He's diagnosing it too, but he just gets completely.
That's McDuffie.
Look,
that's McDuffie.
Yeah, McDuffie. That's what I'm saying. My bad. Yeah, McDuffie's just getting blocked. Look, that guy's not running a route. He's blocking.
Yeah.
Like, so that should have been a pick play. But anyways, here's the swing out, and my God, what a hit. Like, can we
Jalen Watson
in this Jalen Watson hit right here?
Hey, put some boom shakalakas in the chat for Jalen Watson, baby.
Dude, Jalen Watson deserves.
Dude, I'm glad you brought that play up. That was probably one of my favorite plays of the game.
Dude, that was beautiful. Did you see how Justin Reed in the box, but he read that perfectly. Like, the communications there with the defense this year, they don't look as lost anymore. Like, they're starting to understand what Spags wants, and they're starting to be scary, dude. They're starting to be scary.
The thing about it is like a lot of people give Spags crap. But like Spags defense, it's pretty complex. Like, so it takes these guys a while to learn them. And the reason why Spags is like that is because it allows him to be really aggressive. Like, he keeps teams on their heels. They don't really know what's coming next, and it allows him to be aggressive as hell. You notice a lot of times on third down, Spags is sending the house, man. You'll see Snead coming off the edge. You'll see all kinds of stuff, man. And I love it. I love it. Like, that's what I want to see on a third down play, especially third and long. Go get him. Like, I'm absolutely for it.
Yeah, like, that was one of my favorite plays by the defense all day long. Jared with another 5-bomb. He says, I guarantee you Andy is recycling the same plays and just tweaking them. 100%.
100%.
That's what they're going to do. I seen the same play ran 3 times in this game. We just covered it with different formations. We ran it out of a 12 formation. We ran it out of a good Lord, we was running it out of everything.
Which is
we
just
one
something that makes
pistol.
Andy so great. Like, so another reason that makes Andy so great, because he can literally mask the same play in 5 different ways. And
it was pretty close. I don't know if I brought it up, but there's another screen pass that's basically the same one we just seen a few minutes ago that got blew up. But yeah, that's what he's doing, Jared. Appreciate the $5. Legendaries for Jared. Jared said he's feeling good today. He finally learned how to send money. Now he has to explain to his wife why YouTube's getting it all. Just tell her, Jared, be like, look, man, supporting 2 guys that are trying to just bring us some football. I don't know. She's probably still going to punch you for it.
Tread lightly, cool. Jared.
Tread lightly. We know how it is. Yeah, I'm with Tom. Tom says, I remember we used to miss those tackles a couple years ago.
Yes. And they still do if they throw it to Snead's side, so you got to be careful.
I knew you were going to. I was waiting for you to say that, by the way.
Hey,
I was waiting for you.
You know what sucks, though, is I've seen Snead make those tackles like Jalen Watson made a lot in his career.
I was just going to say if that was Snead there, I would still trust Snead to make that tackle.
Yeah, I do, too. I was just
100%.
joking. He's just been struggling this year so far, that's all.
Yeah, I definitely trust Snead to make that tackle if he has to.
I've seen him do it.
Several times. I've got one here that I actually want to show. And this play is more about Jacksonville just being good. Because sometimes you can call the best play in the world and good defenders and good defenses are going to beat you. And there's nothing you can do about it. They get a paycheck too.
Right.
Like, and this one just shows how good Josh Allen is. I'm talking, when me and Steve last year were like, we should go trade for Josh Allen. You remember us bringing that one up? Yeah. Last year we were like, can we maybe try to get Josh Allen out of there? I don't know. Like when we were talking about Brian Burns. Check out this play. I'll talk through this one really quick because this is basically a play from Jacksonville, not a play from us.
It's no surprise though to UK guys that Josh Allen's a beast.
Right. Josh Allen's a monster. So Josh Allen is highlighted in the green circle. He's playing stand up coming off the edge. That's what he does. They play 3-4. If you've noticed, you got 3 down linemen, and these linebackers are coming off the edge of standing up. They're 3-4 defense. You've got Kelsey at the bottom, and Kelsey's just basically going to come up and turn around. And then Sky Moore is in motion, and what they're going to try to do is dip Sky Moore here, and then Kelsey's going to come up the field, and they're going to try to get it back to Sky Moore for a little screen. That's all they're doing. And then up here at the top, MVS is just bringing his guy across the middle of the screen. Across the middle of the field, by the way, not the middle of the screen. I don't know why I said that. But the whole play, and that's all you need to know, they're just trying to get the ball to Sky Moore. So they put Sky Moore in motion. You'll see it.
Which I'm good with.
Watch. He's taken one step, and do you see where Josh Allen's looking?
Yeah.
Right at him. Josh Allen knew this play before it was called. He watches him. Look, he ran his route for him before Sky Moore even made a movement to go back the other way. Josh Allen has now bailed out and is running to the spot. Look at that.
He read that all day
and blew it up. And by the way, the play's not over here. This is the play Mahomes gets in trouble because it just got completely blown up. This was a one read. Like, this is what I was trying to say earlier. This is a one read. That was to get the ball to Sky Moore, and Mahomes has nobody else to throw to. This is the play he ends up throwing it and hits Donovan Smith in the crotch.
So that
But
was
what?
all caused by Josh Allen reading.
It was
that
all
play,
caused
though.
by Josh Allen, and Mahomes had no
Yeah.
second read. This was completely designed to get the ball to Sky Moore, and when it's not there, it's not there. Look,
Yeah.
and then he comes back, and there's nobody there. He's got MVS as his bailout. He knows because he's looking right at him. But what are you going to do? He's got 2 defenders in front, 2 behind. If he throws that ball, it's
I mean,
getting picked,
honestly, he
or-
should have just thrown this ball away.
Yeah, he should have threw it away. He really should have, because there's nobody there. Now, he
But
could hope.
Mahomes is not to throw the ball away type.
Right, he could hope Kelsey can work his way back across the field. Maybe if MVS gets all these guys going, and maybe Kelsey can drift back to the hash this way, possibly. But it's not going to work. By the way, still keep your eye on Sky Moore and Josh Allen. This is a linebacker running with Sky Moore
Which is
all the way up the field in his hip pocket. Look at that. And there's the catch by our boy.
I love it. That was one of my favorite plays as well.
And this is why I kept this angle.
So we
watch
could watch
Josh
him-
Allen gone, and then watch
Watch him freeze up when he
yeah.
gets the ball. It
He
hits him
gets
right
hit
in the penis.
He gets hit right in the junk, and then he just said, I hate this. That's all he said. Just watch him. Look at the surprise of Donovan Smith. He's like,
Boink.
look, it just hits him right in the ding-a-ling. He's done for the day. A little pee-pee on the pee-pee, and he's out. Everybody's like, why didn't he try to make a move? Are you kidding me? He's trying not to throw up right now.
Not to mention,
Look at him.
I think he was just so surprised he was in shock for like 2 seconds. Plus, it hit him in the wiener.
Oh, 100%. But I just wanted to show that play because, look, that was a design play to get Sky Moore the ball. Patrick Mahomes really had no bailout options.
Right.
That's what I'm seeing more of this year than I think we seen last year. Now, could be wrong because we didn't dive into the All-22 as deep last year because everybody said they wasn't interested in it. This year, everybody seems to be interested to a certain degree. But I just wanted to show that, hey, Jacksonville's a good defense. They have good players, and Josh Allen was a flat-out beast.
Absolutely. William Wiles becoming a YouTube member. We appreciate you, William. Welcome to the ACU
William.
crew. And then we got the 5 bomb from Cobra Kai Ty. He says, hey, Chiefs fan, we are at 127 likes and at 200 people here. We hit 150. I'll drop some memberships. Also, subscribe for chances to be awarded memberships. Appreciate you, Ty. Yeah, you guys hit that like button. Takes 2 seconds. Just go hit that like button. Ty will gift you a membership. Better make sure you got your gifting on when Ty's in the house.
Yep. Make sure. Ty, we appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
Drop some legendaries for Ty, by the way. Tom says Sky should have been able to run from him. Is Josh Allen really that fast? Josh Allen is pretty athletic.
We got to think Sky runs what, a 4.4?
Right.
Let me look. I don't remember.
He's somewhere in that 4 mark that you said. But also, once Sky didn't get the
4.41,
ball there, once he didn't get the ball on that in the flats, the chances that he's going to get that ball over the top is kind of non-existent because the play was designed for Mahomes to move, and then
Right, he didn't have time to.
he didn't
even-
have time.
yeah.
So I think in Sky's mind, let's get Josh Allen out of the play. Maybe Kelsey can break free behind me.
Right.
I think that's what he's doing there. So he may not be running full speed, but the fact that Josh Allen could stay in his hip pocket. I mean, Josh Allen is a beast. For real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of like the idea that you brought that play up because it's good to see. Sometimes when these busted plays happen, it's not because the Chiefs are not executing properly. Like we get
Right.
the like sometimes we forget like the Chiefs are so good and the offense is so good. Sometimes we forget that there's good NFL defenses that do their job sometimes. And it wasn't just the offense struggling. It was just a really good play by the defender. So, I mean, I think a lot of times that's the case and we don't see it that way because we're too busy being like, God, they suck. Why are they sucking right now? You know what I mean? But
Yep.
sometimes it's not. That's not the case. And so it was good to see that.
Right. Well, I got 3 more plays, but we'll take a break on them for just a second. We'll talk to you guys
Do
for
we
a
have
minute.
to? No,
Oh, do you want me to keep going?
Nah, I'm
I
just
don't care
playing.
to run some more plays.
I'm just playing. Let's look at some comments. Let's talk
Okay,
to the
yep,
people.
let's do it.
Let's talk to the people
for just
here.
a minute.
The
200
ACU
in here,
crew,
by the
baby.
way. Appreciate you guys spending your Wednesday with us. I'm sure everybody else in the world's probably live right now. I think Cole goes live on Wednesdays.
Does he?
A lot of people go live lately. The other day I was looking and I feel like every single channel in Chiefs YouTube was completely live at the same time. It might have been Monday night or something.
Pick
It
your
was
poison,
random.
baby.
Yeah, it's tough. We're a very crowded field over here.
Kevin Capel says they need to play a lot of Ross and Rice this week. I think they need to get Ross and Rice involved a little bit. Scheme them in. I think, first of all, before we even move on to Ross and Rice, I think they got to start scheming in Sky Moore just a little bit more than they have been. Like you can tell they do run plays to try to do that, like the one that you just watched that Josh Allen busted up. But they don't do it a lot. And I feel like Sky's definitely somebody that's just somebody you want to get the ball in his hand because he can make plays. So I think you'll see that. But I'm right there with you. I think we got to do the same for Rice and Ross too. Mainly with Ross, I'd like to see them throw him into the red zone packages. Maybe look at some of those little back shoulder fades. Like those are the type of thing. Like we saw what he can do with that in the preseason. You just throw the ball up there to where no one can get it but him, and it's a touchdown, right? Like he has that ability. I think Rice does to a degree, but not maybe not quite as ridiculous as Ross. But Rice is also a yak guy as well. Like you said, Mike, he's kind of a running back when he gets the ball in his hands. So,
yeah,
man,
good.
Get them in there, scheme them some plays in. Let's see what they can do. I'm with you, Kevin.
I think this week you may see a little bit more. I don't know how much you'll see from Ross. A lot of people are saying Ross could get more, but I still think they're going to just be very. Ross seems like they've already told us how they're going to use him. Very package oriented, right? Like they've already said that time and time again. So you may see him in the red zone, but Rice, I want to see more plays designed for Rashee Rice. I think he can do really good.
Oh yeah,
if given the opportunity.
For sure. Here, Mike, read this comment from Cobra Kai Ty.
He says Mr. El Travador is going to be on the Pat McAfee show tomorrow. Sounds like he's going to get hammered on the Taylor Swift confirmation. What's everyone's thoughts about this? Yeah,
Man.
like they keep saying that it's happening, right? Like they're together.
Well, yeah. So that's the thing. Who cares, right? Like it's not a big deal. It's his personal life, whatever. But like people like Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes and them, they're kind of getting in that like superstardom celebrity status, right? Especially Travis Kelce with his podcast and things like that. So when you go out and you start dating the biggest musician in the entire world,
at the moment,
the biggest pop star in the world for the last few years, man, like she's huge. Yeah, it's going to be everywhere. So it comes with a territory, but ultimately, I don't think it matters. Like like the people that's like, God, Travis ain't going to play good because he's too busy trying to date Taylor Swift. It's like, who cares? Let him date whoever he wants to. It's his life. Let him have fun. Let him do his thing. As long as he's focused on football, I don't care what he does.
Right, I'm with you. I think he's fine.
You know what? You go, Kelsey. You go, brother.
Right. If we see it at some point start to be a problem, but how do you even determine it is a problem? That's kind of my question. How would you determine
it's not.
that?
It's just if he plays bad, it's a scapegoat.
Right.
That's all. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's exactly what it is. If you play bad,
The same way, like
scapegoat.
every time Patrick Mahomes has a bad game, you'll see at least 10 comments. It's like, he's too busy doing commercials and stuff. He's not practicing football. Like BS. Like, come on. Like these guys can have a bad day here and there, and they can also have a personal life outside of football. So it's just what it is.
I hear you, man.
I says, hell no. We saw what happened to Tony Romo after Jessica Simpson. Hey, the good thing about it here is Travis Kelce's 34 years old, man. So like,
we actually seen Jessica Simpson kind of fell off after Tony Romo.
Yeah, maybe Romo's still like the more relevant one out of that duo there.
You remember when she had her own reality show?
Yeah.
With Nick, what's his name? Nick Lachey. Nick Lachey's actually from Cincinnati. I bet he's a stupid Bengals fan.
Oh, I guarantee it. Is that the dude
my
from like
God.
98 Degrees or something?
Yeah, what was that?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, 98 degrees. That scared me. Did you hear that noise? What was that noise?
What are you talking about?
Something just squealed in my ears so loud. I think I got haunted. My stuff got
I didn't hear
possessed.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh my God, that scared me now because I'm in this room by myself. Oh God.
Cobra Kai Ty, you're probably right. He's going for the sugar mama thing. He's taking less on his contract because he's gonna wife up Taylor Swift, who's worth $740 million.
Dude.
I'm surprised she's not a billionaire yet. This can up in the morning.
What a great plan.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
I don't
I'm
think
I'm
Taylor
not throwing any
Swift-
shade at Travis for this.
Right. Like, I
Go
don't
do your
think Taylor Swift's one of the best looking women in the world. I don't know her personally, so not even that, because you can get with somebody and they don't have to be super attractive. But the point is like, for $740, yeah, I'll date her. I don't even have to know what she's like. Then
Look,
again,
So here's my theory on the whole thing.
she seems like the crazy cat lady, though, right? She loves cats.
I don't know. I don't know that much about her, but I will tell you this: Travis Kelce, the what was her name? Was it Kayla that he was dating?
Kayla Nicole.
Okay, that girl. She wanted to be in the spotlight real bad, and I think they had a pretty bad relationship, honestly. And I felt like that was a thing. People would talk about that all the time, like, "Oh, they're broke up again. Oh, he's playing bad. This and that." It's not going to be any worse than that with Taylor Swift. Who cares? What's the worst that's going to happen? He gets his little heart broke, and then he's sad. Maybe he'll take it out on everybody on the football field. She'll write a good album, and he'll go out there and knock some heads off.
I liked Kayla Nicole, though, right?
Sure, I guess. I don't really care.
I mean, she was.
You know what I
a
like?
nice
I like
person.
when the guys play football. I don't really care about their personal lives all that much.
I don't either.
But yeah, still a funny story. It's going to get talked about. All there is to it.
Here she is.
What?
I
Why?
mean, Kelsey knows how to pick them. I mean, I'm just saying that he does well for himself. Why doesn't he? He's Kelsey, man. He's gonna find a way to be in the spotlight, though, for real. Well, let's break down another play. How about that?
Brenda blamed me for the squeal in your ear. Let's see if it's true.
What is it? I don't know what it was. Was it your chair squeaking?
I don't know. I'm just messing around.
Oh, we woke Taylor up. Taylor said, "Look at that, baby." Taylor's getting horned up.
Taylor.
Taylor.
All chiefed up, baby. Not all horned
I'm
up.
gonna tell you something.
Hey,
He's probably
you
got the
though.
right amount of horny going. I would assume.
Dude, no, that Kayla girl's hot. Like, everybody
She
knows
is.
it. I mean, but I mean, what do you think about Taylor Swift in comparison? Do you have to take the whole package though? Like, Taylor Swift is like little pancakes compared to Kayla. So like, do you have to look at the whole package though? Like, she's also worth $740 million.
Steve, tread lightly. I don't want the Swifties over here demonetizing our channel. Because they will
I'm not saying
come
anything bad
hard.
about Taylor Swift. I don't have anything against Taylor Swift. I don't.
Oh wait,
dislike
what did
her
I just say? I
whatsoever.
just pulled a Cade McNamara.
What's that?
Just said they will come hard. Oh my God! Let's change the subject.
All right,
Back to football.
Let's watch some tape.
Ladies and gentlemen, back to football. Taylor is going to pass out if I throw that thing back on the screen again. So let's get the anti-horned up going, and let's get back to football. If nothing gets you unhorned, I don't know. This play might actually get you going too. Let me bring this up.
Let's test it out.
This play got me going earlier today. This is the first thing I looked at when I got up today, and I was like, God, I should have saved it. Here we go. Let me get it brought up. Can you see it? I
Yeah.
can't find my screen. Daggone. Oh, here we are. I've got 17 tabs open trying to figure this out. Okay, so anyway, here we go. The Jags are on the goal line. We have just pinned them deep. They're in a very bunch formation. They're in a 12 personnel. And how do you call out a 12 personnel? 12 personnel is when you have two tight ends. Here they are, right here. They're putting, if I'm not mistaken, that Zay Jones is who they're throwing in motion. They're going to bring him all the way back across. There he goes. And he's going to set to the edge. There he is. So you have overloaded this right side. This is huge, strong right.
Right.
Which means you're probably not passing out of this. I wouldn't think. I think the defense is keying on run first for sure. You could pull like a play action to Etienne and then roll to the right. Maybe one of these guys leak out here in the flats. Possibly.
That's a little risky here.
Yeah, it's risky. But they're running in motion. They're seeing if we're in man-to-man. And are we in man-to-man? What do you think? Technically, it's very well disguised, but I do think that we are in some sort of man-to-man.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's very disguised.
That's what I would have thought if I was Trevor.
Right. So what are they doing? They're going to run a counter play back to the left. They know that I can't tell if that's Anyudike Uzama right here or if that's Mike Dana. I can't really tell.
I think that's Uzama.
Everything's so blurred. But the point is, he's going to be unblocked, and you're going to pull a tight end across the formation, and he's going to hit him. Now, he's supposed to kick him out, probably. But Uzama actually follows Little Walker. They all slide down the line by these yellow lines. They're just going down the line. They're pushing him one way. He's coming back across. This is a counter play, by the way. Here we go. You're going to see him hand the ball off, and you see. So, by the way, look at number 9. Is that 94? So is that Malik Herring? He just kind of goes through this whole thing and just kind of blows this bad boy up. But they're going back the other way anyway.
Right, they're following that lead block, that pull.
Right, so Etienne is going to come back this way, and they know on the backside you've only got one guy. So that's basically what they're doing.
Is that Justin Reed about to make this play?
Yes, the one guy circled is Justin Reed up there in the gold. It is solely him because in the 12 personnel, you're going to have 2 receivers and you're going to have 2 tight ends. We can already account for 2 tight ends, and you've got your first wide receiver that just came in. That was Zay Jones. He was the pulling guy, that come in on motion. So out here on the left, I'm pretty sure you probably got Calvin Ridley lined up. It probably gets Snead because Snead was covering him. But he's not in the picture. So, yeah, they know that it's going to be man-to-man here. Etienne has got to beat Justin Reed, and if he does, he's pay dirt, 99 yards. Justin Reed says, nay. He blows him up. So let's run that full speed so you can actually watch him. He actually does a good job. He pursues, puts his foot in the ground, finds him, drills him. And then look at that gang tackle.
It looks like is that Brian Cook that was kind of back behind him that could have saved if Justin had missed the tackle.
Right. Brian Cook was coming in. He actually did it right. He's playing like a single high here, basically. So he's going to kind of shade to the middle of the field. That's what he's going to do. See, he'd already started that way.
Yeah. That's a really good play by Justin Reed.
Yeah, another good play by Justin Reed. And a lot of people are criticizing him, says he can't tackle. That's a pretty good open field tackle. And, yeah, was he completely down? No, he kind of –
That's still a good tackle. That's a good play.
Yeah, Etienne put his head down, but he slowed him up enough that the Chiefs literally just gang tackles. And a good job by the Chiefs. And, by the way, number 94 right there coming across. And I'm pretty sure that's Herring, right? 94.
I can't remember, but, yeah, I think so.
Dude, watch him. He just pursues the whole way down. He don't give up either. So, I mean, pretty good play there by the Chiefs.
I'm loving the way this defense is looking so far, man.
Yeah, the defense is what I wanted to highlight today, and I think that play did it as well. But that's 2 good plays by Justin Reed. Hey,
Cobra Kai Ty says we need 6 more likes, fam. Hit that like button if you have not. Let's get those 6 likes real quick. Yeah, man. I'm excited about what this defense can be. Because we talked about before the season started, Mike, like with Chris Jones on the field, this could be a top 5 defense. It's the number 2 defense in the league right now. And Chris Jones only played 1 of the 2 games.
You're right.
And Spags defenses always start slow and pick up pace at the end of the season because it's complex. So, I mean, really for all the new pieces that we do have, which there's not a whole lot. He's got less new pieces this year than he has. That's another thing that's been pretty impressive with Spags is the fact that like they have literally like replaced this entire defense. He's had to literally get a whole new defense together almost every year he's been in Kansas City. And this year, of course, the new pieces would be a part of the pass rush with Felix. But other than that, you got Drew Tranquil, but everybody else is back. Maybe Mike Edwards might be the only other different
new piece.
Edwards. So I mean, that could be why we're seeing them excel early, and hopefully it's just a sign of things to come, man. Because I think they're going to get better and better as the year goes on.
Yeah, you've got the defense is just playing at a high level, and again, like I said, when one guy isn't doing well, there's another guy making up for it. So, like I said, when one guy's coverage grade's a little low, the guy behind him's coverage grade's pretty good. If a guy in front's not tackling the next guy. I've got 2 more plays, and one of them's not really a play. One of them is it's kind of the epitome of what we've been talking about with L'Jarius Sneed. It may be the most negative one of the day.
Okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to
And
it.
we'll get there.
Just real quick, Jesse says Charles O'Menihue hasn't played yet. That's another good point.
Yes.
Mike, do you think that kicks us up another notch, or do you think it'll take Charles O'Menihue a while to get involved?
I think no, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll come in and probably start disrupting. Maybe not as immediate as Chris Jones did it. I mean, literally,
Right.
Chris Jones was out for 6 weeks and just come
Chris
in.
Jones is a monster.
He's
on another
top 10
level.
player in the NFL.
He's on another
You've
level.
seen it. And look, all these plays I'm showing, I had 25 Chris Jones I could have showed you.
Yeah, everybody saw those.
But we've all
They're
seen
hard to
them.
miss. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Charles O'Menihue is going to take it up a notch. Yeah, the play I wanted to highlight next is basically not a big play, but I'll just go ahead and bring it up. And I know everybody's going to get mad because we've got lots of Sneed lovers and again, I don't do this in a way to pick on Sneed. I do it in a way to be like, this is the kind of stuff from Sneed that we should not see from a veteran leader that Chiefs Kingdom regards as such high regards. In a contract year, by the way. You know?
Yeah.
So here's what we got. The Chiefs they're setting in, they've got a single high safety, obviously, and they're just going to basically let our defense get behind them because they're going to just throw a little they've got trips right here. They're just going to throw out to I'm pretty sure that's Zay Jones right here. They're going to try to throw it to. So they're basically just going to try to throw a little screen pass. And this is what we were talking about earlier. They were trying to get the ball out of Trevor Lawrence's hands so quick that we've seen this over and over and over. So basically the pass rush is insignificant, and they're just trying to go ahead and they're trying to get a body on a body. So you've got him. He's going to try to get Sneed, and then they're going to get him the ball, and they're going to go up the middle. So that's all you need to know about it. And then the linemen are going to leak out and try to get Nick Bolton and Cook. So right here, I've got Sneed highlighted. This is where you want to watch. So here comes the play. It's a very quick hitter. Boom. It's already been identified. George probably could have had another, put his hand out and knocks the ball down, but they don't expect it. So look, he's got a pretty good block right here on Willie Gay. Willie Gay's got hit, and L'Jarius Sneed is getting blocked pretty well as well. You've got Bolton coming downhill. It is what it is. Sneed actually gets off. He does a good job at getting off his guy because he actually gets to Bolton. And look at this. They've got a convoy built. He's not getting caught from behind. Derek Notty's not going to catch him. We know Karlaftis ain't going to catch him. So, look, I've got it all highlighted. You've got the guy circled in green is going to hunt Brian Cook. Leo Chenal is too far away. Notty's too far away, and Karlaftis is too far away. This thing possibly goes to the house if he can get out there and get a body on Brian Cook. So that's the point. But watch Sneed. Sneed gets off. He does a good job of getting off and getting over there. And this is where I'll credit Sneed. He does do a good job of getting off the tackle or off the block. But watch the tackle attempt here. This is the thing that just burns me up about Sneed. I'm like, you guys tell me all year long that all he does is tackle. And watch this. Here it goes. He's in form to hit him. What is that?
What was that?
Watch. He don't even try. He just said, nope, let's just go ahead and let go of him. And what is he doing?
That's pathetic.
What is that? And then I would say, okay, maybe it's because the guy's holding him on the back shoulder, but not the case. Look, he's completely off of him right there, and he's just kind of.
Was he
doing?
faking? Was he faking effort?
Right. It looked like he was like, that's not.
Gee, Sneed.
Watch it from
bro.
this angle. Watch it from this angle. Here he comes. What is he?
Bro.
What is that?
LJ, we know you're better than that.
Look, the guy's got a handful of jersey. Don't get me wrong. But that handful of jersey's not causing him to be able – you at least got to go on the ground, wrap him up, do something.
You know what that looked like to me, Mike?
What is he doing?
It looked like let me look like I'm giving some effort without actually having to hit somebody.
Right? That's exactly what I thought too. And again, that was the worst play I found of Sneed.
He learned that from the Honey Badger last year he was in Kansas City.
You can't. You can't give that kind of effort. And he don't usually do that 99% of the time. I get it. I just had to call that out because I was like, come on now.
Okay, here's the thing, man.
That went as a missed tackle, by the way. He got credited as a missed tackle.
Well, he should have. Sneed. My thing with Sneed is I don't think his knee's 100%. I think but I can't give them another pass in the Bears game. Like you've had 2 games to get your feet under you and everything. If your knee's that big of a problem, get off the field.
Yeah, that's my thing.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at.
If your knee
with it.
is not at
But
100% after setting out all
I'll just say,
preseason, why are we playing now?
You set out the entire preseason. You set out all of camp. So knock some rust off. That's fine. I'll give you a pass on these 2 games. We know he can play ball. Let's see it in the 3rd week.
Yeah.
We can forgive real fast if you get out there and play a good game. Chiefs Kingdom will forget a lot of things when you get out there.
Yeah.
They'll forget a lot of. Look at Chris Jones.
That was one
all
play,
of a sudden,
though.
all the people that hated Chris Jones,
Right.
and Chris Jones is not honoring his contract, and he's not a real Chief, and Chris Jones isn't worth this much money. He goes out and absolutely wrecks an entire game his first game back, and everybody's like, "Man, Chris Jones is a beast."
Right.
Love.
Well,
Chris
that's what
Jones.
I'm saying. That's just one play. It was one play.
Right.
That was a business decision. He didn't want to wrap it up because he was afraid a lot of guys were going to hit.
Right.
That he just went by. It is what it is. But I'm telling you, there was a big difference in the way Jalen Watson put his head down and stopped that guy earlier, and then what we seen right there.
Hey, guess what? We got 250 likes, and Cobra Kai Ty threw out 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you, Ty. You the man. If you got a membership from Ty, make sure to tell him thanks in the chat. Throw some legendaries and ketchups in the chat for Ty.
Appreciate you, Ty.
Ty always supporting the channel like crazy.
Who got the subs? Midnight, GTCS, Lewis Cuthbert. I thought Kelly, but no, she just
Lewis is hiding out there. Lewis, you've been awful quiet since Chris Jones came back and wrecked the entire game, brother.
John Clifford, Norman Shrek, Sherry.
We got to get you back in the chat. We got to see how you're feeling about Chris Jones now. Just wondering.
I think he's fine. Surely.
Hey, what's up, Terry? Good to see you. Yeah, man. Sneed will be okay. He'll be okay. I'm not worried too much. I did put up a poll, though. I think we missed a super chat from Ty. Let me go grab that real quick. Speak of the devil. At the 5 bomb, he says, poll time. How many times will Fields get sacked this Sunday? Threw the poll up. You guys vote on that, and let's check it out. But appreciate the support, Ty. Always. You know we appreciate you, my man.
I voted on that poll. Do you know what I voted?
Did you vote? What'd you vote?
I did vote. I think 3 to 5. Because Justin Fields is going to try to lead the pocket. So if he gets caught behind the pocket a few times in no man's land, he may get it.
That's true, but he's also very shifty and fast. So I'm still going to go with it all day, baby. Let's just sack him all day long.
Let's get about 20
Let's
sacks.
destroy his will to live.
What's the single game sack record? Not from person, team.
Well, you know what? It's at least 8. Go check that out. Let's see if it's doable. Let's see if it's doable this week.
Let's see if it's doable. Could we call it? The Philadelphia Eagles in 1952, October 26th, before the New York Giants, had 14 team sacks.
Dang, bro.
Daggone, dude. Did they even have an offensive line that day?
They sacked up.
Yeah, they sacked. Dude, that team was incredible, by the way. Oh, wait, hold up. No, this is all time. Okay, well, the Eagles, as a franchise, went 14 one time in 52, right? 2007, they got 12. In 85, they had 12. In 84, they had 12. In 1980, they had 12. In the 66, they had 12. In 61, they had 12. In 60, they had 12. The Eagles have always been a sacking bunch of fools. Daggone. Now I'm curious to see how many sacks the Chiefs have had.
Well, I mean, DT had, 7 in one game. So how many do they have that game?
Oh, here we go. I found it. So in 1984, the Chiefs had 11 sacks in one game. They beat the Cleveland Browns 10-6. They had 11 sacks and 4 interceptions in the same game.
Daggone, bro. I would love to have that team on my fantasy football. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They probably scored like 50 points.
In 1998, against the Oakland Raiders, we won 28-8. 10 sacks. By the way, we've got these all in September. This is our final September game. This could be the time that we're going to go off. We could go off if history repeats itself.
Yes,
but that's it. 11 once and 10 once, and then we've got 4 games of 9.
Yeah,
bunches of sevens. What's up,
Night Hunter? What's up, Show You? Hope you guys are doing good. Hey, got the 5 gifted from Terry. Appreciate you, Terry. Thanks for the support. You guys make sure to thank Terry if you get one of those memberships. Throw some legendaries and catch-ups in the chat for Terry and our man Cobra Kai Ty.
Let's do it.
Man, I'm excited for this weekend. Like I said, I think it's a get-right game. I think it's a get-right game for the offense. If our defense plays as elite as they've been playing in week 1 and 2, and our offense does get right, how nasty could this game get, Mike?
Yeah, I think it could get out
because the Bears
stink.
Quick. The Bears are not good.
But look, you have to remember, Andy don't like to put his foot on people's throats.
When's the last game the Bears won? I feel like they lost like 12 straight.
Yeah. I don't know if he wants to embarrass Ron Poles. Something
Andy
tells me, as bad as we want this to be a huge blowout, Andy would probably cap it at 10 to 14, somewhere in that range. He'd take his foot off.
Andy, gotta sack up, brother.
Don't do it, Andy. Sack up, get the sack. Sack attack. Let's go. Let's sack up. Let's get that
it's time
sack,
to put
baby.
the foot on the throat and just dig in. Let's make a statement this week. Because let me tell you, I think there's a little bit of a chance that the Bengals could fall to 0-3.
That would be just dandy, actually.
It would. I'd like to see a little chaos going on in the AFC aside from the Chiefs. That'd be nice.
Make my whole day, actually.
Exactly. Taylor Bell, memberships. Just make sure, like, when they gift memberships up there, it shows that little green gift thing. Click that, and then it'll bring up a little box that says, what is it, like accept gifts? Just
yeah, it just says you'll just click it up and it'll say you can accept it or whatever. By the way, did you shout out Terry with the 5 gifted?
Man, Mike, you are so behind me tonight.
Did you already do that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've got like plays going. I'm trying to get stuff situated, so I'm just kind of losing it.
Hey,
I don't want to
make your excuses, but you just don't listen to me.
I don't want to leave
That's
people
what
out.
It is. You block me out. It's a big brother, little brother thing. He's got like a block, like it's been going on since childhood, where he can just completely block me out.
Did you say something?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Let's get to the last play. How about that?
Funny man. Let's watch it.
Let's get the last play going. This one, I wanted to bring this one up because this is something that we've seen in preseason. A lot of people were like, Spags does weird looks. Another defensive play, by the way. We've seen our first
defense has been so good. I want to watch all the defensive plays.
You want to count these guys on the field? So in purple, you have defensive linemen. Green are linebackers, and red is DBs. What is that? That's a 3-3-5 defense. Spags actually pulled out a 3-3-5 defense, which we've seen in the preseason a few times, right? So
that means our boy Leo's going to be on the edge.
There he is. He's the number 1.
Yeah.
So he's coming off the edge.
I love this look. I love it.
Dude, this look is amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, like, the 3-3-5 is... You see it ran in college. If you guys watch the Colorado game versus Matt Rule and Nebraska, I think. Matt Rule in Nebraska runs a 3-3-5 pretty commonly. Shadur Sanders had trouble picking it up, but when he did pick it up, he ate it up. But it took him a long time. The 3-3-5 is so good because you've got the extra linebackers. And usually, like Steve said, Leo here, they're going to use Leo to get after the quarterback, and I love that right now. I think Leo can get after the quarterback. I love it. But you can do so many exotic blitz packages out of this, not to mention, so you don't know who's coming, who's not. You don't know who's dropping, who's not.
Belly.
Dude, it's like Spags created this. This is what a 3-3-5 is brilliant. I had to get a drink of Mountain Dew. Talking too much. By the way, and I just want to, okay, so that's all I wanted to show there. That's why I put it out. I want to show that. So it's going to zoom in, and I'm highlighting Leo because this is all Leo. People keep saying, why is Leo getting more playing time? Leo doesn't look that good. What are you talking about?
Leo has been great.
Dude, I found a few people on X being like, because I said Leo, it's hard to keep Leo's skill set off the field. They're trying to find ways to get him out there. Some smart ass gets on there and says, what's Leo's skill set? Oh, I'll show you Leo's skill set. So what you've got here is a quad formation. So you got 5 wide. By the way, it is illegal to have 5 wide receivers on one side of the line. This is why you've got 1 at the top. You've got to have 1 legal receiver on each side. So they've got 4 down here. Now, usually they can stack in different kinds of things. This is just a quad formation. They're just both here, 2 on the line, 2 off the line. Sometimes they'll stack in a diamond formation. Sometimes they'll just do crazy stuff. You never know. But anyways, it's basically what it is a 5 wide, but it's a quad formation because they're 4 right. Leo is going to blitz. And this is another screen. Surprise, freaking surprise. This is all they were doing all day long. So I highlight right here what these guys are going to do. So you've got the inside guy. He's going to try to seal off Nick Bolton. The guy here, which is Ridley, is going to try to get to McDuffie. I'll get it out in a second. And then this other guy here, I can't tell who that is, but he tries to go after Snead, and then they're going to let this guy step back on the very edge. He's going to take the ball. Watch how fast Leo diagnoses this play, by the way. And look at the hustle Leo gives. Not today. And that's how you run through a tackle. No, don't pull that Snead crap where you bounced off of him because you was afraid to hit him. Watch Leo. Runs him down and just runs through. Do you think Leo cared that there was going to be 5 guys possibly coming in on him? No.
Leo don't care.
Leo don't care. Look at Leo. He's playing with a fury. This is why he's death row. Look at the speed and the way he got out there. It's beautiful. I can't stop watching it. This was one of my favorite plays of the day. All effort. Christian Kirk, again, trying to get Christian Kirk involved in the screen game.
This is very similar to the Josh Allen play when he picked up on.
Right.
Yeah.
But does that play not show you what Leo's value is? Very quick diagnosis. He would not have diagnosed that play like that last year. It would have took him longer.
Leo's going to be a gem, man. I knew when we drafted Leo, like he was going to produce eventually. It might take a little time, but Leo's going to get it done.
Right. What's Optimistic James talking about? So both tackles are off the ball, making it legal.
I don't know.
Probably
probably pointing out that their tackles are back just as deep or deeper than Jawan Taylor not getting flags.
Yeah, by the way, people are having trouble with that. They're not understanding it. I did find in the rule book, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Chief Kelsey, I believe. I was talking to Chief Kelsey, and you know the whole thing about you have to have your helmet in line with the center's belt line. That was the talking point, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I went through the whole rule book the other day. I did not see that rule
Couldn't
in the
find
rule
it.
book.
Yeah.
I went back last night and I found it. I wonder if they updated it because I read the same rule book and this time I found it.
Maybe you just missed it last time.
Maybe I did. It does say that. Now, look, when we used to play, that was not the rule. I played offensive guard. I played offensive tackle. When I was in high school, which was 20 years ago.
Old Man River.
Right. Off the center, I was allowed to line up on his belt line. The tackle, when I played tackle, I was allowed to line up off the guard's belt line. So you created this, the V.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of a V.
So it wasn't technically the center's or the guard's belt line, but it was like halfway where the guard was or something like that. Like you could be right near his foot, something like that. But you basically played yourself off the guard, not the center. But now they've made it to where you got to play everything off the center. So I do get why they will say Jawan Taylor lines up too deep sometimes. I did notice that he did line up too deep, and I noticed that they probably could have called it 3 or 4 more times, and they didn't. But I'll say this. It still doesn't negate the fact that Jacksonville did it too. I seen them do it. I seen Walker Little do it way more egregiously than even Anton Harrison. Lane Johnson's still doing it. Trent Williams is still doing it. It still doesn't negate the fact that they picked on Jawan Taylor the other day, but maybe that's out of their system now, and they'll leave him alone, and we can get back to playing football. But yes, technically, if he has to be on the center's belt line with his helmet, he's probably off of it by, say, 6 inches to a foot. And again, will they call that every time? I don't know.
Well, my whole thing with the Jawan
Taylor. It sounds
Taylor,
like they can just call it when they wanted to call it.
The whole Jawan Taylor situation is I'm fine. If he's breaking the rules and they want to call it, that's cool. But you got to do it across the board. Like, he can't be the only person in the league you pick out and throw flags on because everybody was crying about it. If you don't like that, then call it on everybody, because I've seen it across the league. Any game you pick, watch it, you'll see it. Nothing gets said unless it's Jawan Taylor, because everybody was crying about it on that primetime game. Right. That's what I don't like about it.
Optimism is, how can you see the ball if you're not on the line and then you jump? So, okay, that's another great question. The offensive line does not have to see the ball. The defense reacts to the ball because they don't know the snap count. So the offense knows the snap count. So maybe in high school or even middle school, grade
They'll
school,
tell you
they
to watch
may
the ball.
tell you to watch the ball because you're not really going through crazy snap counts and stuff. But in the NFL, they know the snap count. So the reason that I noticed that Jawan Taylor was coming up a little too quick last game, and they got him for 2, both of those were Creed Humphrey's fault. And Creed did not do it by maliciousness to try to get him in trouble or anything. The ball was slick. Creed was trying to readjust it in his hand before he snapped it, and a lot of the times Creed was snapping it too low still because there was a lot of humidity out there. Creed was tilting the ball a little bit, and on the tilt, Jawan Taylor, so Mahomes was saying, hut, whatever he does, like on 2, say. So he says, hut. So as soon as he gets ready to say the first hut, Jawan Taylor's moving. Why? Because by the time he moves, Mahomes is going to say hut on the second one, and it's all going to happen so fast. So he's jumping it. That's what that's called, jumping the snap. Hut. So what Creed was doing a few times is on that first hut, he wasn't snapping the ball. He was slightly adjusting his hand, then snapping the ball, and that was causing Jawan Taylor to get out too quick, and because nobody else was moving. But technically, it doesn't matter how that ball's moved, whether he tilts it forward, tilts it back, or anything. Once the ball moves, that's technically allowed. The play's good. So technically, the defense can react to that and go, and it's fine. Creed moved the ball. So it's all still just minuscule little stuff, and it's like if they want to call it on us and continue, they can still be jerks about it. And I'm afraid what they're going to do is let it slide, and then in the playoffs, they're going to hit us with it again. And they're going to be like, well, we told them all season. You know, and it's scary. Sure. You're playing with fire, to be honest.
Terry, you're working too hard. You need to sit and put your feet up. Working too hard. I don't like it. Take a little ACU break. No, definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on Wednesday night. All the support is appreciated, 100%, man. We're trying to do this thing full time, man. Working a full job and doing YouTube and having 7 kids at the beast. But I definitely put all my time and effort into it. I have a good time with it, and you guys are what make it fun. So appreciate you guys hanging out for sure.
I actually liked looking through the plays tonight. That was all the plays. Steve, did you learn anything off of the plays? I learned that defense is amazing so far, and I've learned that the offense was actually executing better. That's what I got out of all that. So we're moving in the right direction. I want to see the wide receivers continue to step it up a notch. I think that would be my thing. So that's what I'll ask you. Against the Bears coming up, briefly, before we wrap this up, what do you want to see coming against the Bears? Because I still want to see more receiver progression. I think that's my number one thing.
Yeah, and I don't know what you exactly mean by receiver progression, but I would like to see Andy and Matt try to get some of the guys involved. Like I've been saying, like whether it's Rashee Rice or Justin Ross, or if you just want to get Sky Moore even more involved, I want to see them scheme them into the offense, kind of like you saw them do with Kadarius Toney early in the game against Jacksonville, where it's just get the ball in his hands, see if he can create, get him some confidence. I want to see them do that with Sky Moore, like more than they have already. And I also like to see it with Rashee Rice and even Justin Ross. But I think the main thing that I want to see, Mike, is the run game early. I want to see them utilize the run game early and often. I want them to open the pass up with the run instead of vice versa. I say if the guys on the tackles are having trouble with the run block and run it inside, whatever you got to do, just put the ball in Pacheco's hands and let him eat, man. Because you mentioned last week, like what could Pacheco do with 25 carries in a game? Like what could he possibly do? Because when he starts wearing down that defense, Pacheco's just a freaking bowling ball, a ball of energy. You're not wearing him down. He's wearing you down. So when does he start breaking things? And we know he has game-breaking speed. But not only that, man, it just our offense looks so much better when we have a decent run game going. Obviously, that's just common sense. But I feel like it gets overlooked far too much in the Andy Reid offense, and I'd like to see us start out with a good run game. And I want to see the defense keep building on what they're building, man.
Right. I agree. I would love to see the run game. I don't ever say it because I'm tired of talking to the wall. I just don't think Andy's ever going to commit to it.
No.
And I'm with you. I don't know if this year maybe they just decided, hey, the run game's not going to happen. Our guys just aren't good run blockers, and they just aren't going to do it. But I would really like to see them do it. That's what I want to see. I'd love to see it. So, yeah, I do agree. I'd love to see a run game. I just don't know if I can say it and Andy's going to do it. So, for me, with receiver progression, I just want to see Justin Ross get used more. Let's see more of him. Let's see more Rashee Rice. Let's get Sky moving in the right direction. Let's get Kadarius Toney if he plays. Let's get his confidence back up again. Like, keep building it. Let's get MVS more involved. Poor MVS is just not – he's underutilized hard.
Hey, Terry, you dirty. I see you. No,
Yeah,
but MVS for sure. Like, that's another thing. It's like we get him to stretch the field after Tyreek Hill's gone, right? Like, because he's a guy that has that type of speed that can take a top off a defense. You saw it in Green Bay. They take shots at him and stuff. I know that Patrick Mahomes is connected with MVS a couple times on long balls, but you've never seen him hit him in stride. Like, when are we going to see him actually blow the top off the defense and get a bomb from Patrick Mahomes? That's something I've been waiting on. It's like, if that's why we got him in here and we paid him $11 million a year to do, let's freaking do it. Like, because right now, like you said, it's just he's not being utilized at all.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just don't. I don't know. When I was watching the All-22, I noticed MVS didn't even run a lot of long routes. He was running a lot of 7-yard comeback routes and just random stuff. And it's like, it's blowing my mind, but I feel like and this is another thing that kind of blows my mind too. Did we ever think after 2 weeks Justin Watson would have the most yardage of any wide receiver? He's got 108. He's got the highest PFF offensive grade for wide receivers, the highest receiving grade for wide receivers, Justin Watson.
Does that not show you how bad the offense has been in a nutshell?
Right. And Mahomes is going to him. 9 targets.
I get
9
it.
targets.
I understand, but I don't like it.
It's kind of strange.
I think if Justin Watson's your most targeted receiver and your leading receiver, then your offense is struggling. And that's what we've seen so far. And I'm not taking digs at Justin Watson because he does his job fine. But I'm just saying, like, there's so much more to this offense than that. So much more.
Yeah, you're probably right. But, man, I think that's going to wrap it up for the night, dude. We'll get back here tomorrow, either tomorrow, Friday. We'll talk about the Bears a little bit. I think it's time to move on to the Bears. I like wrapping up the week with a little bit of film review and then going into the next week. I think that's just a good plan. So
it's a good practice to have, Mike.
Yeah. And then, so I really want to start focusing on the Bears from here on out. Jacksonville's in the books. That was a good win, I think. It's a good win. I think we did a lot of things good. I think our defense could continue to play at a high level. And Chris Jones actually kicked it up a notch, which was great. So I really do like it, man. I like the way we're headed. And again, after digging in for the first 2 weeks, like you said, it's hard to say anybody's doing bad or good through 2 weeks. But what I did learn is that there's a lot of room for improvement. And if these guys improve 5%, 10%, this defense is going to be unstoppable.
Hey,
so,
number two in the entire league in defense right now. So that's pretty sweet. And since we're moving on to the Bears and on from Jacksonville officially, we want to go ahead and get it started right, Mike, by letting the Bears know what they need to do.
Suck it! Suck it! We got 2 words for you! Suck it!
Suck it, Bears.
Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Appreciate all the guys that donated and everything. All your support is much, much appreciated for me and Mike. We see you. Y'all have a good night. And, keep a lookout for content, and we'll be back live soon.
Go Chiefs.
was a sight for my soul.